to San Miguel TV, and if you're here for the first time, welcome for the first time. We're doing this again, man. Today we're going to talk about the many false leaders that you can look into and find and read about, research in the black community in in the United States, man. And we're talking about Black America, where this insane reality has, you know, so-called reality is coming to, social media, and you can actually see the result of the masses being deceived in real time right now. You can go on ISUPK's live stream, IUIC's live stream, and look into the many false leaders in this black community. You can find many of them in the Black Hebrew Israelite community, man. We're going to talk about all this stuff. I'm San Miguel. Welcome to San Miguel TV. You can see some of the faces right here, from Yahannah to Tazaryach to Yahweh ben Yahweh, Malachi York, Ahrayah, Brother Polight, Tazadaqyah. Yeah, just a few of many of the false leaders in the black community, man. That you might come at me and be like, San Miguel, you sound like a Spaniard conquistador. What the hell are you doing talking about Black Hebrew Israelites? That's what we're gonna do right now. So bear with me as we get this thing started up. As I get myself comfortable and situated. Shout out to the New York Mets for winning against the New York Yankees tonight, or this afternoon, and winning the Subway Series, man. Some of the things I like to occupy my time with nowadays, instead of this identity crisis that's going on in the black community. And like I said, you might look at me and be like, what the hell is this Latino, Latin pig Latin conquistador out here talking about what's going on in the black community, my community? Well, let me be an impartial critic. Let me be an unbiased spectator right now and let you know from what I see, as a former Hebrew Israelite, once a part of the ICGJC, the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, who knows some of the teachings in this false identity, man. It's a false identity, and usually you don't see a lot of Hispanics fall for this shit. I'm one of a few, so consider me a unique voice in this community as a former member, not only a former member but a Hispanic. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Of course you do, you horse. We're gonna talk about this stuff though, man. We got time. Let everybody come through. Welcome to San Miguel TV, man. You see, we talking about the many false teachers in this black Hebrew Israelite black community, period. Whether you are a Nubian or a Moorish sovereign citizen and all that. You got Yahannah over there in the bottom with the ISUPK, the neo ISUPK. It's just a false ideology out here. If you ever heard of Brother Polight, right here, Bow Polight, Michael Nowak from Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York. he was only given like 7 to 10 years, 7 years for lewd and lascivious. He pled guilty because he was being charged for all types of heinous crimes. And he got himself a good lawyer out in Miami, Florida. The story goes like this with Brother Polight. This cat right here, found. Brother Polight came up under Dr. Malachi York, which is this guy right here. Dr. Malachi Z. York. I could have put so many other people up here that I just didn't have space to do all of that because there's so many other false teachers that want to deceive black people with the message that, we're creating a safe space for the black man. We care about you, black man, black woman, black child. When we creating a safe space for y'all, so join us. And we're going to help you against the devil, the white man. And that becomes a distraction. There's somebody else is the evil person. It's not me. I'm black like you. You see, it's all about skin color. And then before you know it, they're digging in your pocket for, classes on how to become spiritually enriched. And how can you become a millionaire? I'll teach you crypto classes and real estate classes. Why would you pay a dude like Polight? The dude is a goddamn scam artist, a trickster, man. This cat. One of the worst people, man, in this community right here, who still has followers that support him with multiple wives and all of that. The same talk. You see, I'm here for the black community. We building a community, the new Wabian new covenant. And you gotta watch out for the white man, and never mind the man behind the curtain. Look at what the government and the police are doing. He created a false, fake ass police brutality case that got tossed and dismissed without damn argument. He wanted to get a lawyer, Malik Shabazz, to represent him. This guy was the biggest scammer. Meanwhile, come to find out, he's taking little girls to so-called clubs, right? This is what predators do. This guy married a grown-ass woman with a daughter who was teenage girl. I think she was a little younger when they got married, so-called married. As a predator, this cat, what did he do? He got with a woman that already had a child to get closer to the child. You know what I mean? You might not know what I mean because this is very foreign to a lot of people, but this is what predators do, man. They try to get the easy targets, and black women are becoming very easy targets for these predators like this because they come with a so-called knowledge. I'm intelligent. I'm going to teach you economics. Cat was so-called teaching economics classes, has no degree in anything dealing with economics or real estate, and he's charging people for classes up in the amount of $70,000 in one instance, 15,000 in another instance, where he had to pay this amount back. Brother Polight, right? But we're gonna talk about all this stuff a little bit more, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that. Like the video, and we'll talk about all these fake, fraudulent people that want to put themselves up as some type of leaders in the black community, because the black community needs to be saved, and that's the message constantly. You need salvation. This is why I am here, because the Lord has sent me over. This is what they're saying. This is I'm quoting literal these Hebrew Israelites. Yahweh ben Yahweh over here. This cat over here. Boom boom boom. Yahweh ben Yahweh, former Nation of Islam. Another one, another fraudster who put himself up as some type of leader in the black community. You got to watch out for all these cats, man. I mean, some of these cats are dead or in jail. But regardless, watch out for the people that talk just like these people. So I recently watched a great little 10, 11 part documentary um, that was talking about Brother Polight, this sweaty face fucking Hamite. you know, I don't believe he's a Hamite. I'm just joking. That's what the Hebrew Israelites would call him. But yeah, yeah, you might be asking, why am I talking about what's going on in the black community? Because I'm a unbiased spectator. I don't have an investment. I don't have a bias. I don't have like any personal opinion. It doesn't affect me really. So let me tell you what I see from the outside looking in, and as a former Hebrew Israelite who was on the inside looking out. For all the people that are black that want to think that they're Hebrew Israelites because you're ashamed of who you really are. This guy already exposed that right here, and he was a fucking child molester. And he exposed Hebrew Israelites for being the frauds that they are, because you guys are child molesters too. You guys believe that you can get with a girl as long as she's had her menstrual cycle already. She's considered a woman according to the Hebrew Israelites. It's a common doctrine that they won't tell you about. But I know about this stuff. And let me tell you, as an outsider looking in from what I see without bias, without, oh, this is a black man, I'm not going to destroy my black people. Because I know you want to protect this child molester because he's black. Because of his skin tone, you care about him so much that you overlook the little kids that he damaged, man, sexually and molested and drugged and raped. You want to overlook that, right? You know, that's crazy that you want to protect the wicked people in your community, that you don't want to hear somebody else just because they're of another race calling this shit out. Yeah, I'm an unbiased spectator. All right. Stop trying to protect these criminals, man. I know this is your black brother right here, and but yeah, people in the comment section going crazy. But we're gonna call all you guys out, while you're a spectator here protecting these guys. You got all types of faces that have been doing nothing but evil, from Polight, Brother Polight. Michael Nowak, the fucking the love child of Dr. Malachi York, the protege. I mean, he really, from what I understand, he really wasn't even around Malachi York like that. He was just trying to, trying to front like he was some type of under, underling or an understudy where he really wasn't. Make sure you give this video a like and a thumbs up. Yeah, all the frauds out there that was trying to deceive people in the black community, calling themselves gods, and the black woman is God. Meanwhile, he's molesting little black girls. He's obsessed with sex. He was obsessed with fornication. That's why he had multiple women. Everything he was talking about was concerning some type of sexuality and money and lust, all that shit. You know, and you talk about people like you even have kings that black people look up to, like Mansa Musa, who's also taking on underage women, on underage girls rather, in his time, and he had many slaves. And this is a hero in the black community. Like they love Mansa Musa, and they never talk about how he was a slave owner. He was choking the his the society under him, his subjects, and the wealth was not going to everybody. It was just going to him. That's how he became the richest king in history, pretty much. You know, you got genocides going on right now in Sudan. You got legal slavery in many countries going on right now in Africa. Slavery is legal, and you don't even have a good like like collection of data of what's really happening in some of these African countries throughout the continent, because they don't keep good records. They don't have good record keeping. So you never hear about what's really going on. And the fact that you do have that good record keeping right here in America, now you could point to those, oh, look, we got numbers to point at. But you don't have that in some of these places in the dark continent because it's kept in darkness, and they always want to point the fingers outwardly instead of looking inwardly into the community, into the people that's hurting your own community. These are the people that's hurting your community. You want to focus on everybody else. But it's crazy. It's crazy what we have going on. And, this is Yahannah of the ISUPK, a fake Hebrew Israelite, who's definitely mixed with some slave owners, some white. He's got some white DNA all up in his family tree, man. If you shake his family tree, white people would fall out screaming and yelling. Ow! If you shake this guy's family tree. Let's just be honest about what's going on, because you also, what you don't have, a record of is people like this fraud right here, who we know was dealing with underage girls, but there's no record of it. There's just so-called hearsay and rumors and word of mouth, because people in the community want to protect this fraud right here. You want to protect your own people because the color of their skin. And that shit is what you don't see going on in any other community. Hispanics call out the child molester. That's why it's known, because somebody reported them, somebody called them out and exposed them. While I'm over here trying to expose this guy right here, what you had going on? You have the Antichrist unit defending this fraud right here. People in your own community, you guys defend your own people just because the color of their skin, man. And they'll be the worst people in the fucking world, and you never hear about the crimes that they have. The crimes that they have committed, man. You don't hear about it because you guys protect your own, and you don't want to go to the police because you believe, oh, they're the devil. No, this cat is the devil, man. This is Tazadaqyah, Jermaine Grant of the ICGJC, man. And his crimes were being covered up by their own members, by his own members of the ICGJC cult. He is the underling, the understudy of Ahrayah, the light skin ass yellows, yellow red bone that created the 12 tribes chart, who definitely has who they call the devil running all through his veins. Look at this cat, yellow as hell. They say that no, this is, you see, the Israelites didn't look like Matumbo and the Africans, and Africans have a gray undertone and Israelites have a shiny gold undertone. No, man, y'all been mixed in with white people. Y'all don't want to admit that. A lot of Black Americans have a good percentage of European in their genetics. If you do your DNA, y'all love talking about identity so much, but you don't want to point out who you really are. The so-called Lion of Israel right here, Ahrayah, Mr. Sherrod, Leonard Sherrod, who came up under Abu Bivens and Yaquab, is Yaquab's son, who said that Hispanics, Mexicans, Dominicans are all part of the 12 tribes of Israel, and blacks and Hispanics are the same people, and so are Native Americans. You also have Black Americans that they want to claim to be Native Americans, the original Native Americans, taking the identity of indigenous people, trying to steal the identity of indigenous people. This is what's going on in the Black community right now. There's an identity crisis going on, and I'm here as an unbiased, impartial spectator, telling you what you probably don't see because you're too busy protecting the criminals in your own community because of their skin color, man. This is an identity cult, man. This is the occult right here, the leaders of the occult. Let's call these guys out and let's expose them, man. Don't get mad because we exposing these cats. Now you got Tazaryach coming out as some type of leader in the Black community, and protecting people like Kataza, a ginger Hebrew Israelite. He was willing to go to war, fight for that cat. And listen, I ain't saying Polight is anything to be protected either. But yeah, this is obvious tribalism. They don't want to talk about the tribalism in the Black community. It's tribalism, man. And they get you with the same message all the time. It's always the same message. We're creating a new nation for Black people, and we're creating wealth for Black people, and and you can have your own property. You're gonna have your own kingdom. Yeah, capping. Tazaryach be capping. And he's been getting destroyed by Christians left and right, like Adam Dyer, Andrew Wilson, exposing and beating these cats up, talking about, you see, because it's all about the father's seed, Ak. What you don't realize, it's all about the father's seed, Ak. If it's really all about the father's seed, and we all come from Adam, he is the father of all people. Even Abraham is called the father of many nations, and many people came out of Abraham, who is the father of many people. So you talk about the father's seed, it's constant contradictions, just straight up lies, man. And they don't, they want to claim people like this to be Israelites. This is an Aboriginal Australian with straight hair. Yeah, she looked black. She looks kind of Neanderthalish if you kind of look at her, because the original Australians, the indigenous Australians, have much Neanderthal and ancient hominid DNA, man. But somehow these are supposed to be Israelites that have been scattered all throughout the world too. And you see some of these cats like Nathaniel trying to venture out and bring the gospel using this false 12 tribe sign to bring in people from all other walks of life, claiming that those are Hebrew Israelites, man. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Appreciate you, Mayan Stevenson. I see a person in the comment section named Lou something. Lewis Luck. He probably thinks that Black Americans are the indigenous Americans. There's Black people that think that um, the transatlantic slave trade is a lie, that it never even really happened, and that Black people were here all along in this country. I mean, pure insanity right here. These are some of the faces of the deceivers that are, lying to your brothers and sisters, your melanated kings and queens, identity politics. What up, Mega Dardignan? Arabian something. Welcome. Yeah, Dr. York. What was he? He was making some music, wasn't he? Just like what's his name? Minister Farrakhan. Racist ass motherfuckers. They want to claim, oh, everybody's racist towards us, but they be the main people keeping racism alive, man. You constantly talking about the white man's the devil, Jewish people are evil, they're the synagogue of Satan. You have so much hate in your heart, and you think everybody hates you. You're projecting your own feelings about everybody else, and you thinking that it's about you, like you're the main character, and you're not, yo. Yo, it was good. All right. Yeah, shout out to everybody out there exposing the Hebrew Israelites for sure. Exposing all this blackology. This is the common pitch. They throw out the hook, the sinker, hook, line, and sinker, throwing it out, claiming that, man, you know what? You need to join us, brother, because Everybody out here wants to destroy the black man. Come join up with us. Thank you, man. Appreciate the love. Yeah, right. They claim that they're so oppressed, man. Thank you for the super chat. Mr. Arabian something. Arabia I don't know, I'm sorry. You know who you are, appreciate it. You know, they wanna take the attention away from what they're doing, and you know, this is the evil person. They claiming everybody else is evil, and these were supposed to be the good guys, you know, the real leaders. And what's funny is that I was talking to one of these Hebrew Israelites earlier today, and he was calling me an Edomite and a devil. And then he was saying that Hispanics are Israelites. I don't know if he knew I'm actually Hispanic, but he was saying Hispanics are Israelites. Man, you're a demon and you're an Edomite. And then his reference was this guy right here, Bartolome de Casas y Sosa. You know, who wrote a book about the indigenous people of Americas, and I don't think he even ever mentioned anything about them being Israelites. I don't think he even believed that. They called him the protector. They called him the protector of the Native Americans, of the indigenous people. And this is a white dude that they love to constantly reference. Anytime they need to go to some type of reference, they point to the people, the same people they call the devil. When Tazadaqyah of the ICGJC was facing criminal charges, which he pled guilty to eventually, guess who was his defense attorney? It was a Jewish dude named Gerald Lefcourt. He actually went to who he was calling the devil. This guy right here, look him up, Jermaine Grant, who's all types of evils, man, all types of wickedness coming out of, you know, the members that was following him and himself. Like, the people that was under him was doing the same evil that he's doing, but he was the main antagonist, he was the main protagonist, and you know, the head of all these people, man, just claiming that he's, you know, some type of holy person, pretty much a fake righteous person, and he's absolved of all evil. You know, he can't do evil because he's the oppressed. So now, when you label yourself as the oppressed and you have oppressors that you're speaking against and all of that, now you can never do evil, right? You're just, I'm just a victim here, and I'm trying to live based off the circumstances, and my socioeconomic conditions made me do what I needed to do to get by in life. They constantly make excuses for what the evil that they do. When it comes down to it, you look what they talk about. They'll make excuses at the end of the day for the evil that they do, and they blame it on their socioeconomic. Anytime you hear that, socioeconomic conditions, they're making excuses for the evil that they do, man. This is Democrats have taught them to talk like this. Democrats have trained them to think that they're the victims. Meanwhile, these cats are shooting up Jewish markets, like David Anderson, who shot up the Jewish market in Jersey City because he hated Jewish people. That was his goal, to make sure he wiped out and killed Jewish people. What up, Christian Nunez? Welcome. Irv Gotti's lawyer. Yep. Yo, he had to pay him like $200,000, man. And it's just to retain him, I think he paid him $100,000, man. It was crazy. But you know, he had to do what he had to do, just like Polight. Who did Polight go get as a lawyer to represent him? The white man in Miami, Florida. I forgot the name of the law group, the law firm that he retained. Yeah. Democrats and Republicans both shady as fuck for sure. But the people that you really got to watch for are the Democrats that's actually perpetuating the victim narrative, because Republicans will tell you, go get your own money. At least I respect that from Republicans. They'll tell you, and libertarians, what the Democrats want you to do is rely on the government. They want it's the same victim narrative. They want you to vote for them because they're going to be your savior. They're going to save the black people, black community. Just like these cats are talking, man. It's very similar to what these cats preach, that everybody's racist against you, and yeah, and you need us. Vote for Kamala Harris, Biden, Obama, but we live in a world, man, where everybody's trying to get your attention and everybody's trying to get your money. Everybody's trying to get a piece of you, and they want you to think that they have your best interest in mind. And what all these cats were doing was the same nonsense, man. The same nonsense that politicians do. But what they do is that they'll tell you, no, the government and Republicans and Democrats, they're all evil. There's some good Republicans, there's some good Democrats, there's some good politicians out there. The majority of what Democrats are teaching is straight nonsense, man. At least Republicans will deny that, yo, you're not being oppressed. You're not being oppressed. Democrats are the ones that changed the definition of racism, where now it means some type of systemic prejudice. Power plus prejudice equals racism, is what they're saying now. And you hear intelligent black people that go to college, they go to universities, they pay all this money for a degree, and they come out speaking like a fucking maniac, like an idiot. Like they're oppressed. Meanwhile, they got $100,000 a year salary or more because of the degree that they got, but they're oppressed. And you got white people that are broke as shit out here, dirt broke, that ain't making money. They got no privilege. And you don't even have to pay no school loans back. As a black American, you might be eligible for free tuition, free college tuition. They send you to school for free. They don't do that for Asians, and they don't do that for white people. They're doing that for black people. You got all types of grants and business loans that are available. If you're black, you're eligible to get a low interest business loan to start a black owned business. You always hear that, black owned business. Buy black. Don't buy white. They got blackout days where don't buy anything coming from white people, just buy black. If the roles were reversed in 2026, it would be labeled as racist, but black people are able to say certain things and get away with it. These people were able to talk a long time. Their nonsense was going on for a very long time and nobody was saying shit. This guy right here was actually putting out hits on former members, black people in his own community, just because they don't believe anymore. They left. He wanted to take them out. He wanted to kill them. This guy was molesting Malachi York, molesting his own people. This is Yahweh ben Yahweh. I forget his real name. Um, Damn, I forget his name. And Malachi York. Evil ass people creeping in your community, preaching that they have your best interest in mind, and a lot of people fell for it. I mean, I can tell you I fell for some of this shit, you know? And you have freedom of speech where you can preach all this hate that you want, and you're able to get away with it. Even as a black person preaching hate against Jewish people, you can talk all the hate, you can preach all the hate that you want. Just don't act upon it. But a lot of y'all are pushing for action and not just talk. And that's why you have what you had happen in Jersey City, Um, you got, man, you know, you got shit like this that happened in what they call Freedom, Georgia, I believe it's called. I believe, yeah, Freedom, Georgia, where black people were just trying to start their own thing. They wanted to get away from white people in Georgia. They started their own land. They created their own town and took all this money. These are other frauds right here that nobody even talks about these people right now because they're supposedly still building. But yo, it's been 6 years, man, and these people still haven't built shit. Still dirt patches all over the goddamn place, and they taking money talking about we're gonna build a community for black people to be safe from the evils of the white man. But you forgot about all the evils that come out of your own community. You have not fixed your own community. There's problems within, and you think that you can escape that by segregating yourself from white people who are willing to help you, who actually are the majority in this country. And if you isolate white people from this country and you start a business, you might go broke because white people have not only are they the majority, but they have more wealth than black people in this country. And you start to isolate yourself from white people, you might cut yourself off um, from obtaining any wealth. You can't just rely on your own people. Your own people are gonna be like, "Yo, let me get that for free, though. I know you, bro. You can't let me live, yo." That's what they're gonna do, man. You already know that's what they're gonna do. You could listen back to stories about like from Kevin Gates, the rapper, and Young Jeezy, who will tell you these very stories, man. Young ASAP Rocky, when it came time for them to start their own thing and look for help from their own people wouldn't even help them. And who were the ones that helped them out? White people, Jewish people, people of other ethnicities and races that helped them establish their own shit, their own company, their own business, their own name, and bought their music, supported their dream. But you want to cut yourself off from all of that and claim that you just want support from your own people because you don't trust a white man, and you're the racist. And we got to call it out like it is, man. And these guys right here, very racist people, man. Most of these people have already fallen. The only ones that really haven't be this dude right here, which this should be coming soon, and this cat right here, General Yahannah, man. All the stories that you hear about him probably got some truth to it, man. Because he's one of the old school Hebrew Israelites from One West who took on the One West, um, the One West name, ISUPK, created his own little cult called the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge instead of the Israeli school. It's the same acronym. This guy is a fraud. But yeah, man, let me see right here. I got a brother at work that always expects me to bail him out. Like, damn. Also, Dr. York rips off white and Jewish people music. Yeah, that's right, man. They're cutting themselves off from opportunities. Their own hatred and bigot limits themselves. Yeah, man, for sure. That's why you see IUIC. I should have brought up some photos of IUIC. Let me see if I could find anything. But you know who I'm talking about with Nathaniel. These cats, I've done videos on them before. You know, um, but yeah, ISUPK is some of the funniest cats out there, man. But yeah, these IUSC cats are hilarious. Yeah, here we go. IUSC. I was gonna make a video about IUIC and the 10 tribes and all of that. You know, they're letting white people in now. Now they're letting Africans in. They're going to New Zealand. They're going to India, and they're trying to expand because they're realizing that they can't cut themselves short. They're about the money. So, you know, you're gonna see them constantly try to include everybody else because they're about the money. So you're gonna see them include um literally people in India. Christian Nunez, yeah, I got friends that are Hebrew Israelites too, but they're not part of no groups. That's why they still talk to me because if they were part of any groups, they would not even have a conversation with me. But yeah, this cat right here, man, you see him with his braids, you know, looking like Clay Thompson or something. Not even. Yeah, man, I was the same way. You could find pictures of me with cornrows, claiming that I'm more black than I really am. Like this cat probably has like 10% African in him, if that. Like he looks whiter than me. Like, and I have like 21% African, and some of that is North African, but you know, I have like about 21% African in my genetics, roughly. This cat has less than me. I promise you, this cat has less than me. No doubt about it. Yeah, man, it's a funny case what's going on right now, you know. They want to tell you that oh, Hispanics and white people, they don't want to be or Hispanics and some black people that are mixed, they don't want to claim to be black. That's all they claim. They don't want to claim to be white. The racism that's going on right now, it's very popular. It's very trendy for you to be anti-white, you know? You constantly hear about how white people don't have rhythm, white people don't season their food, white people are the mass shooters, main mass shooters and school shooters. Yo, I didn't even get to finish the video that I was doing on the March mass shootings. I'm gonna still finish it. The March 2026 mass shootings. I got stuck on March 22nd. I was going through every day, following up on every mass shooting that was happening in the United States. The definition of a mass shooting is when at least 4 people get shot. At least 4 people are shot. They don't have to die. They have to at least get shot. It don't matter the circumstances or nothing. A mass shooting is when at least 4 people get shot in an instance by somebody, by at least one perpetrator. It could be two, but it has to be a related event. Yo, it was only one white mass shooter in March of 2026, and there were like 12 black mass shooters. 12. And I didn't even get to finish because when I hit March 22nd, there were 10 mass shootings on March 22nd alone. And it just threw a monkey wrench in my whole thing because it's like that's a lot to research when I got to do 10 mass shootings in one day. Now I got to do all that damn research, you know, and I'm still going to finish it, but I'm going to have to go about it a different way because they don't always have any information on the suspect, you know, and it takes a lot for me to research it because sometimes they hide the suspect and I got to go to Twitter or Facebook or some other social media thing because if you just Google it, you're not going to find any information on the shooter. You got to dig the person's name. You might get the person's name and not get a photo. So now you got to put the person's name into a social media search to see if they still have a social media page up so you can find out who the fuck this person is, and you still might not find the person if they don't have a unique name. If they have a very common name, you don't know if you got the right person now. So you got to be careful, you know, and I try to be very careful about that. But in 2026, March 2026, I was like, you know, I'm gonna continue this mass shooting stuff because there's been nothing but lies coming out from the mass media, which is mostly Democratic, They want to tell you that white people are the main mass shooters. And that's not true. There's even studies that were done that you can pull up, and they'll tell you that there's only been 180 mass shootings from 1982 to 2026, and they're mostly white people. There have been 130 mass shootings in 2026 alone. Over 130 mass shootings have happened in 2026 alone. And the studies that you'll find about mass shootings that tell you that there's mostly white people tell you that there's only been 180 mass shootings in the last 30 years. 180 mass shootings in the last 30 years. Are you crazy? Then when you look at the methodology, they're leaving out uh certain mass shootings because of the circumstances, because it's domestic or gang related. Sometimes you don't even know if it's gang related. It's just some stupid beef where idiots are shooting all over the goddamn place and innocent people are shot. So they're not the intended targets. But it's still a mass shooting because more than 4 people or more than 3 people got shot in an event, a violent shooting, a mass shooting, period, man. In the black community, the shootings are insane. And cats like this, these fake Hebrew Israelites that want to claim to be black, will repeat the same stuff that the Democratic Party are pushing through the mass media. And this is why I point this shit out. This is why sometimes I make it political, because Republicans are not spreading these lies. Some of them are actually on top of the lies, and they'll expose it like, hold on, there's shootings going on in the black community that they're not putting in the mass media. 22 people were shot in Edmond, Oklahoma at Lake Arcadia or Arcadia Lake. It was a goddamn party that they were having. 22 people shot. Bro, that shit did not leave the local media. Nobody ever even heard about that. 18 people shot in Austin, Texas by a crazy ass black African Muslim that just wanted to kill people, bro. What that shit disappeared in the media. 10 people shot in California. What was it called? Amarillo, California, I believe it was called. The name of the city. They didn't find the shooter, but it was 10 people shot, like 3, 4 people killed, Hispanics killed, and all of that. Where's the media? Where's the mass media? But when it's a white person, you better believe that they're gonna talk about that shit, and you're gonna hear about it on NBC, ABC, MSNBC, CNBC, CNN, New York Times, the Washington Post. The Young Turks are gonna talk about it, and it's gonna go all over the goddamn place. But when it's a black person that does it, oh shit, oh man, they suffering, it's the conditions of slavery. It's still they're still living under the conditions of slavery, and it's some you gotta like treat them with baby gloves and shit, and treat them with kid gloves. Like, oh, you gotta expect that to happen in that community. Yo, these cats are some of the same people that they're making it seem like the issue is somehow the black community is, or the white devil is the ones that's doing all the shit, bro. Cats like this, man. Look at this look at this white cat right here from IUIC, making pretend, like they're black. They want to be black so bad, man. They want to claim to be something that they're not. And people like this are telling them, like, yeah, you're black. Yeah, DTX speaks. I remember when the Uvalde shooting happened, everybody thought it was going to be a white guy until it was revealed it was indigenous, Hispanic, Native American dude. Right. And that was one of the worst mass shootings right there. And in that year, I'm sorry, that was a school shooting slash mass shooting. And in that year, there were no white mass shooters. at all, or school shooters. I'm sorry, there were zero white school shooters, at least that we knew their identity, because sometimes they don't show you their identity, so there could have been, but the ones that were identified were black mostly. Like 18 of them were black. It was a crazy number. Like 22 of them were black. Crazy number. And what makes that crazy is that they're only 13% of the population. So the fact that you're ignoring this and making it seem like it's something else is the issue, that's a fucking problem right there. And you know, I look this stuff up all the time. You could do your own individual research on this. Don't let them spoon feed you the statistics, because you're not going to now think for yourself. You're going to go and run with the statistics that come from whatever study was done. And then what you don't do is you don't go into the methodology of what they did and how they came to this conclusion. What criteria did they use to come to these conclusions? They never go into that, right? Because you got to do deeper research to look into that. So somebody that just wants an answer, a quick answer, and that's intellectually lazy, they're just going to give you numbers from a study and not give you the methodology and the criteria that was used to determine, first of all, what is a mass shooting? How do you define a mass shooting? And when you look at the studies that were done, even when you look at the numbers that they put out in some of these studies, when you do per capita and you calculate the rate, it's still happening at a bigger rate in the black community. And they're not giving you the real numbers, which is insane. And people are so quick to jump out and say, yo, but look, there was more white people. And when it comes to like police shootings, there's more white people that get shot by police. But all of a sudden, all these black activists, they get all intelligent and smart. And they're like, yeah, but if you look at the rate at which it's happening, black people are only this and they're getting shot. Oh, now you fucking know how to do some math now. But when it comes to you doing the calculations of who's doing the most murders in this country, who's doing most crime, period, almost every crime category, when you look at it per capita, the black community is doing it at a higher rate. And nobody wants to admit this shit, which is that this shit is crazy. I mean, it's almost like you're in the twilight zone and you're gaslighting people. And when people like myself who find out the truth start to expose it, I get all this pushback from people that have not done their research. And you want to blame it on poverty. That's another common this is all coming from democratic talking points. It's because of poverty, brother. Black people are poor, therefore they commit more crime. There are more white people living under the poverty line in this country than there are black people. There are more white people. So by your own logic, white people should be committing more crimes at a higher rate, and they're not. They're not. That's just not how it works. Christian Nunez, I know who you are. It was good, bro. Appreciate you, my Dominicano. But yeah. Yeah, the Virginia Tech shooting was a white guy. Bro, go back to my shorts from March, man. Starting on March 1st. You had Ndagni Diagni or whatever the hell, the Senegalese Muslim cat that shot all these people in Austin, Texas on March 1st, right? I believe that's when it happened. Then you had in Iowa, out of all places, Iowa, you had two black mass shooters on that same day. It was the same event, and there was two black people that got arrested for it in Iowa. The black population in Iowa is like fucking non-existent, and they're still doing more mass shootings in the whole state than white people are. Explain that shit. Then you got what was the other cat? I forget the other dude. It was damn. You just go back to my videos. That's why I make a record of it, because nobody else is talking about it, man. And if I ever want to go back and look it up, I could just go to my videos and say, well, here we are. Here are the numbers. The one white person that got arrested because of a mass shooting in Virginia Beach, I believe it was. He was shooting in self-defense. Now, mind you, he was very reckless because he was shooting all over the place, but he was surrounded by like 4 black people trying to rob him and take his gun, and he ended up shooting a bunch of people around him, and I don't even think he got the actual suspects that were trying to rob him. So that was the only white mass shooter that I came across in March, when I got up to March 22nd, because once I hit March 22nd and saw there were 10 mass shootings, I said, "No, I don't got time for this shit. Y'all gotta look this shit up on your own now, man, and you let me know. Otherwise, you just, you just gotta follow the studies and the statistics, and you don't know if those statistics are accurate if you don't look it up yourself and do your own individual research, man. I'm tired of being spoon-fed information from studies and all this stuff that you can't even really verify because they don't give you the individual statistics. They just give you round numbers and tell you this is what we found. And they'll tell you the methodology. Oh, we base this on the criteria of shootings that happened, that were non-domestic and non-gang related and non this and not. Now you're cutting out certain mass shootings that happen because they don't fit a certain criteria, even though they're still technically considered a mass shooting where at least 4 people got shot. That's what a mass shooting is. And cats like this, these Hebrew Israelites they don't want to talk about that. Some of them might. Some of them might. And they'll still lie and be like, oh yeah, but that's because we're the Israelites. That's why we're doing all these evil shootings and we're killing our people because we are cursed. It's all bullshit. Cedar Rapids, yeah. But people that want to say, oh yeah, Democrats and Republicans are both. I don't put them on the same category. You know why? Because I've looked into some of the lies, and yeah, there's a bunch of lies that Republicans are pushing out there, especially some of the real right wing conservatives like Chud the Builder and what's his cat's name? Nick Fuentes and things like that. Like they get real out there and they start to sound like Hebrew Israelites. They hate Jewish people and all that stuff, man. They hate Jewish people. They sound like black Hebrew Israelites, man. It's like black Hebrew Israelites learned from these white Christian nationalists. But yeah, man, Chud the Builder, man, that's another one I gotta do more videos on. What a freaking crazy story with that guy. And I did a video on Chud the Builder. Um You can't see his face. Let me see if I can find some video or some picture of him. I don't think I have a picture of him without. Let me see. Let me show you if I got a photo of Chud the Builder. Y'all might know who I'm talking about. Boom, 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 boom. Uh-oh. Wait. Where you at? Where you at? Yeah, I don't know if you can't really see him. That's his hat. And I had a little screenshot of him that I took and put that title and did a thumbnail for a video. Oh yeah, Nick Fuentes in the closet. Damn. It's not talked about because it doesn't fit the narrative. Yeah. I mean, I don't follow Nick Fuentes to tell you the truth. Like I don't know this man. Like honestly, I don't know anything, that dude be saying, to tell you the truth. Trying to see if I could find anything on him. I don't think I have it. But I've seen some interviews, so I can't say I'm completely ignorant of what he says because I've seen some of the interviews. But yeah, here's some other ISUPK members right here who want to claim to be black. Yo, I'm black, yo. The real Jews are black, yo. And they look like this. These guys are supposed to be black right here. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. We're gonna keep talking about them, but yeah. DTX Speak says Hebrew Israelites, Moorish sovereigns, FBA, Foundation of Black Americans, ADOS. What's ADOS? ADOS, African Diaspora, something? No, I don't know. The Aboriginals, the Kemetic community, are just a blackenized version of the Mormons, British Israelism, and Christian identity. Yep, I agree. A lot of that, it just sounds very similar. No, not even, bro. This guy right here, I had a conversation with this guy, man. We went back and forth a little bit. Look at him. He looks very Asian. Hold on, I have another photo of him right here. This is an ISUPK member. Yo, he don't look Asian to you right here? This cat look Asian as hell. I forget his name, man. He said I'm half Arab. They're not. Yeah, I think some of the North African DNA that I have is some type of Berber or maybe some Arab, because people would be confusing me and my brother. We were always confused for being Middle Eastern Arabic. But this cat right here, man, this is Siberian, East Asian mixed with European. This guy looks Asian to me, man. This guy don't look Asian to you, man. He looks very. This is typical of indigenous people. Indigenous people look Asian from their eyelids to their teeth, the what they call the what do they call that? I forget what they call those type of teeth that East Indian, because everybody's dentistry is different, especially genetically. Oh, they call them shoveled shaped incisors. Look up that type of dentistry. Shoveled shaped incisors is usually found with Asian people and Native American people. That's where you find that. Because they'll say, well, there's Africans that look like Asians. You got the Sand people. This is where the Asians come from. That's not true. They don't have the same genetic makeup. They might have, the monolid eyelids or the monolid eyes, which is they don't have the double flap. They have just one flap. You know what I mean? You see these double flapped eyelids? Asians don't really have that. It's just kind of like just whoop, one flap. One, it's very distinct. You can see it. And some of the people in Africa, the Sand people, some of them have that. But that could just be because of genetic traits, because of the region that they grew up in. Sometimes if you grow up in a certain type of, or if your genetics are in a certain uh longitude and latitude and all of that, that could influence your genetics. And also there's all types of other reasons for why people genetics mutate, because that's what it all is all a mutation. But yeah, you got Asians that look like this. You got these people right here. I mean, this guy, this dude looks just like them. He looks like they look related. These are Siberians right here. Who I believe these are either Siberians or Alaskans. I might be confusing these people with Alaskans, because I've been doing a lot of research on the history of the Native American, and how they came out of Beringia. They migrated out of Siberia and made their way over to the Americas, but there was a big ice wall and glaciers blocking the land, so they couldn't really get inland. So they were mostly stuck in Beringia, and some of them migrated more south, using ships or vessels on water to go down the Pacific coast and avoid going inland. And then that's how they avoided all the ice glaciers that were more north. And they were able to hit the Pacific coast, and they migrated going back over 20,000 years, they found. But there's more evidence that they also migrated on foot through Beringia into what's now called Alaska or Canada, and made their way into the Americas that way. There's different migrations, man. There's more than three, or there's three main big migrations from East Asia into the Americas throughout different periods in time. So they've been mutating in their genetic makeup. Even in Mexico, they tell you that the indigenous people of Mexico, they originally came from East Asia, but they were in Mexico for so long that they started developing their own unique, identity, their own unique genetic makeup. So it's complex as hell, man. The shit is not so simple. Where, oh well, we're the seed of Gad, and that's just how it goes. Like, what are you talking about, man? How far up in the Americas did the seed of Gad get to? Because they make it seem like Gad populated the Americas, the tribe of Gad, who's supposed to be the Native Americans, from the bottom up or from the south going north. But then what do you call the Inuit and the Alouette Indians and the Canadian Indians? Are they Gad too? Because some of them will tell you, no, these are not Gad. These people are not the tribe of Gad. Then they look just like the people that they call Gadites. Migration is imminent. That's hilarious, man. That whole eminent argument. Yo, I could not believe what these cats were doing after I caught them with that lie. It's crazy. Yeah, man. These cats like look Asian. Like this woman right here. I believe she's Siberian. You could see it. You could see it. You could definitely, see the genetics, all in there. And then you got shit like this. Oh man, you can't see the other side of, but this is Ving Rhames on the right, and you got to look up Sam Dede. This is like his doppelganger from Nigeria on the left. It doesn't come out because the photo's too big. I wasn't ready. Was not ready for all that. But yeah, man, that whole eminent thing is crazy. Is World War III imminent, bro? They meant to put imminent, which means it's bound to happen, like it's coming soon in the future. And they wanted to argue that no, we meant to say that. And it's like, no, you didn't, man. We know what you meant to say. You meant to say imminent, and you mistakenly put eminent because you fucking guys are idiots. You guys are thieves, man, and crooks and idiots, man. Deceiving black people and trying to pull Hispanics all up into this shit, into your lies, because you want us to be down with the cause, and you want our women. They want our women. Some of y'all don't like black women. I love black women, but some of these black Hebrew Israelites, they do not like black women, man. They hate black women. That's why they want to bring in the Hispanics, bring in the Gadites, bring in the Issacharites and the Ephraimites, man. We'll show them who the real gods and the kings and the melanated queens are. And it's like, yo, come on, man. These women are like indigenous as hell and European as hell. And you're just lustful, man. You're just lustful as hell. You want these women to be your women because you don't like your mother. You don't like black women. Some of these cats, I'm telling you, man, they have a hatred towards their own people. They're tricking and hurting their own people and claiming that they're here to help. Like Nature Boy is another one. Nature Boy was a maniac, man, who's in prison. I should have put his fucking face up. Nature Boy. Yahweh ben Yahweh, Malachi York, Brother Polight, Tazadaqyah. All these people are evil as fuck, man. And you know what their whole pitch was? Well, we creating a sovereign nation, and so feel safe, and we're creating a safe space because it's a dangerous world out here for a black person. Everybody's always trying to get us. You the ones that are trying to get black people. Your own people. And make you turn your head and make somewhere else, man. Right in your face, man. Trying to trick you with a whole sales pitch. And that's all that shit is. It's just a sales pitch to get you. It's been happening for years. And nobody falls for it harder than the black community because black community has been victimized, right? There's a history of that. We can admit that, right? But is this shit rampant like how it was back in the 1920s or even going up to the 1950s? I'll I'll go that far. There was a big major change, man, and you started seeing people of other races supporting black people and wanting to help black people, or wanting to at least leave them alone. You know, forget all that. Oh, let's help black people. Leave black people alone. Stop trying to fucking get them to join your cause because all you're gonna do is distract them and hurt them in the name of, oh, we're trying to help you as a black person. They're using race. These are the most evil people, man. Anytime you hear anything about black excellence and black, stop talking about fuck all that identity shit. A big chunk of black people in this country are mixed with European, have European admixture. Who the fuck cares about all this race stuff, man? And the only reason why I keep bringing it up is because y'all keep bringing it up. So I have to address the conversation. And there's a big conversation. There's all social media groups, pages, all dedicated to just black news and black people and black empowerment, black this and black that. You want to get black people's attention and now you're distracted from reality at large, and you just you're in a tunnel vision, man. You're in an echo chamber, and it's like, oh, we're here to help black people. This is one of the biggest deceivers right here. Is Tazadaqyah, Jermaine Grant, and I know this shit personally. I was there, and I was calling this shit out going back to 2017. Go look at my first video. I created this channel, San Miguel TV, because of this fucking fraud right here, Tazadaqyah Jermaine Grant. Well, this is the truth, man. I mean, it's a problem. You know, it's a big problem, and it's it's something that somebody has to point out, man. Somebody has to call this shit out. That's impartial. You know, I don't consider myself a black person. So people be like, "What the fuck do you have? Why you talking about this?" This is something called here, let me I don't know if you can see Lefe. I love this stuff right here. You got the stained glass, little anyways. Yeah, I mean it's not just that talking, man. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I mean, I've put out videos like this before exposing stuff that people they don't want to they want to tiptoe around because it's, oh, you being insensitive to the black community and you got to be careful. I think that's part of the problem is you're trying to be too soft and insensitive when we have all this crazy shit coming out, and then they want to throw white people under the bus as if they're the ones that's doing any of this stuff when it's like your own people taking your money, molesting your young black children, and then some of y'all will make it seem like the government is just trying to take down the black man. And this is why Brother Polight is going through what he's going through, because the black man and the white man, and shut the hell up about all this racial shit. Meanwhile, some of them have people like this in their community. This is a white person, man. This is a straight white person that's claiming to be a Hebrew Israelite, and black people are supporting this, This, like, well, how do you explain this right here? It's just craziness, man. I mean, I believe this cat is part of GMS. I think he might be a GMS member. Maybe I'm wrong. Great Millstone, Tahar with Great Millstone. This is one of the classic Hebrew Israelite groups that's out here spreading nonsense and lies. Oh, is he GLCC? Okay, that makes sense, because they'll tell you straight up that they accept white people. So yeah, you might be right about that. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining San Miguel TV, man. I'm here just trying to spread some knowledge. I'm here to educate my people. My Hispanic, Latino. No, I'm kidding, man. I'm here for anybody. Shout out to all the Christian apologists out there like Vocab, Faithful to God, Jim Green, BK Apologist, Willie Valerie, and everybody that exposes these Hebrew Israelites because of the lies that they teach, trying to target people in our community, black and Hispanic, both alike. They're trying to target us, so we're gonna respond. For people that want to, come on here saying, "Well, why are you talking about what black people are doing?" We're going to talk about what they're doing when they're targeting Hispanics to join up, a part of their and be a part of their cause. We don't have anything to do with this nonsense that came out of Harlem, New York. This identity cult shit that's like some it's like you're being programmed to believe in lies, right? One of the main lies that you will hear these Hebrew Israelites teach is that Jesus Christ's hair was woolly, when we can read out of the very Bible that it says that his hair was white like wool, man. White like wool. This is like witchcraft, man. People are trained to believe that means woolly hair, an afro. Worldwide, I'm talking about all around the world. People that are not Hebrew Israelites will tell you Jesus Christ had hair like wool. Where does it ever say that he had hair like wool? You never read any such thing. This right here is some of the main lies that you hear coming out of the Hebrew Israelite community. That yeah. Oh, somebody said, "Oh no, he's definitely GOCC." Yeah, but like that way of thinking right there, that narrative that Jesus Christ was black and had hair like wool, or his hair was woolly. Yeah, that came out of the ISUPK, the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I mean, it was out before that for sure, but it became a doctrine. They started making flyers. This is one of the old flyers from the ISUPK that y'all probably never saw before, but you can find this online when you look up the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge. These are some of the flyers that they were pushing. Um, and look how they used to word it. Judah is the Negro. Benjamin is West Indians. Levi is Haitian. Simeon is Dominican. Zebulun is Panamanian. Ephraim is Puerto Rican. Manasseh, Cubans. Now they put an S. But everything else, they don't say Dominicans, Haitians. Why don't they say Manessa Cuban? If you look at it, this is so like just the grammar is so bad. Reuben is Seminole Indians. Gad, they're the North American Indian. But Gad, who else? See, North American Indian includes Alaskans, who clearly come from Siberians. Clearly. So you have to go up that far if you say North American Indians. Technically, that's what they are. Asher's Brazil. What happened to Asher being Colombia to Uruguay? They just say Asher's Brazil. Issachar's Mexicans. Naphtali's Argentinians. What about Chile? What about the Chilean? This is missing a lot of people. Yeah, this is one of the old 125th Street. Wait, what does it say? 1 West 150th Street? I didn't even notice that. Where does it say that? I don't see that. But no, this is 1 West 125th Street. This might have been before they got to 1 West 125th Street. This very well might have been that before that. But yeah, man, that chart never made sense. Haitians, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Jamaica, all West Indians, and Negroes are also in Haiti, Jamaica, Brazil, Puerto. Yeah. Brazil has a big black population. Need to be free. I want to be free. What up, brother? But yeah, this chart right here, this flyer is an old school, the ISUPK flyer. That I found when I was researching Abba Bivens, and I was researching where Abba Bivens came out of, the commandment keepers, and it led me to this flyer right here, and it led me also to, let me see, this book right here, which is supposed to be written by Abba Bivens, but it lists his name as Henry E. Bivens. Now look this up. This is crazy. It's published in 1950. Marks of a Lost Race, and it supposedly was uh I believe a brother of Abba Bivens that um incorporated his Abba Bivens and his brother pretty much used both of their names as the author, but they merged it as if it's just one person. But this is actually two different people. And you can look into this, and it includes Deuteronomy 28. They talk about the curses. They talk about all that stuff. It's your common One West, you know, doctrine. Your common Hebrew Israelite narrative of we're under curses. If you look at Deuteronomy 28 and 42, though, it tells you that the children of Israel will be cursed by locusts and by locusts and grasshoppers eating their crops, pretty much, and eating their fruits. Let me see if I can find that scripture. I thought I did a screenshot of that before. I probably don't have it. Yeah, right here. Deuteronomy 28:42. All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locusts consume. So this is one of the curses right here that they never want to talk about because it doesn't apply to anything that Black Americans have ever been through. You know, and even the other scriptures in like Deuteronomy 28 and 49, I think, when it says the stranger that's within thy gates shall get up very high, that's talking about in the land of Israel, there's going to be strangers in your land, in their land, that are going to get up higher. But they interpret that as, oh, you see, here in America, the white man is up high above us, but it's talking about the stranger that is within thee. The stranger is talking about somebody of another nation that's living amongst you in your land. So you got to peep how they lie and how they twist scriptures without you even realizing what they're doing, man. Right in front of your eyes. This is like witchcraft, yo. You don't even see it because it's all reading comprehension too, man. Like you gotta kind of slow down and look at. Wait, hold on. What am I reading here? Let's get some context before we start going off the deep end. And here's William Saunders Crowdy, one of the founders of this Black Hebrew Israelite movement. He was a Freemason. Um, I think he was from Guthrie, Oklahoma, I believe. I forget, but he's definitely one of the founders of this Hebrew Israelite movement, teaching the Deuteronomy 28 garbage. That was one of the first things that they started teaching was the curses and trying to identify Black people as Hebrew Israelites by identifying a condition that they were going through and, kind of relating that to the condition. And, it's like you find a correlation and now you think that it's related. But there's a famous saying that correlation is not causation, which means that just because two things correlate doesn't mean that it's caused by the same thing or that they have any relation to each other. It could be completely separate. And this is what people like William Saunders Crowdy was doing, where he started the Church of Saints in Christ, I believe is what it's called. The GOSIC, I believe. I might be wrong on the name. The Church of I forget, something like that. And it led to this garbage right here, the ICGJC. Yeah, man. These are some very familiar faces. Some of y'all might know. See if we can find more stuff. Some of these guys right here packing heat. See, these guys ain't playing around no more. You gotta be careful. They're packing some heat right now. They have that right. Just like you have the right, your Second Amendment right here. Just like Chud the Builder. He had the right to freedom of speech. Yeah. You have the right to carrying weapons, concealed and carry, or open and carry. Like Florida, all of a sudden now we have open and carry again because of a politician in Pensacola, I believe, who tested. He kind of, it wasn't for him, and he got arrested. They ended up changing the law back to open carry. I forget the guy's name. This happened just recently when he got arrested in 2024, and then they changed the law like in 2025 because he was challenging the Second Amendment, the Constitution. And he was saying that the state is violating his constitutional right to have a weapon freely and not be hindered by the state or the government. That was the purpose of Second Amendment right anyways. So you don't have a government trying to overthrow all this shit. But yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to Need to Be Free, man, for also, putting this Hebrew Israelite shit on blast. These clowns, these are ISUPK clowns right here, man. They want to be down with the cause. It's a movement that's slowed down, I think, a little bit. The Church of God and Saints of Christ. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. But yeah, that's all of that has led to this right here, where now all of a sudden you got these white Hispanics, man. These wrestlers. These guys look. This guy looks like freaking Macho Man and Hulk Hogan and shit. They look like wrestlers. The garments are kind of dope, though. I ain't gonna lie, that garment's kind of dope right there, man. Something I would have been wearing.
I used to have my grandmother making garments for me and some of the brothers too. But yeah, some of the damn Hebrew Israelites right there. This is what it has led to. They want to claim to be something that they're not, maybe because they've been convinced that this is their identity. It might feel special too. There's a lot that comes behind this, man, and it's like it's deeper than most people even know. And everybody has their own reason too behind why they believe in what they believe in. Um, you know, you got Hebrew Israelites. Like this cat right here. Let me see if I can get it better. Yeah, this is a Hebrew Israelite that's down with the, or was down with the AOI. What was it? AOI, the Army of Israel. You see him? And these are the very cats that claim to be for the cause and for their people, and they end up murdering their 19-year-old girlfriend that they've been with since for 3 years. So they got together when she was 16, and he's what? He's like 47. This is a Hebrew Israelite who slayed and murdered his own, queen and all of that. It's bullshit narrative, trying to make you feel special because you black. And we gonna help you. We gonna help you because the black man needs help. That's the sales pitch right there, man. We gonna create a new nation for black people. You gotta pay your dues, nigga. That's what the fuck they talking about, man. You got damn slick motherfuckers like this cat, a goddamn pimp. Right. Packing heat in captivity, man. Pimping their own people in captivity. How are you able to get away with this? And you in captivity? Like, come on, man. And they don't get away with it, and the fact that they don't get away with it, now they're being persecuted and I'm oppressed, and it's the government. Bro, you out here like Polight. You out here in Lamborghinis, man, driving around town in limousines. You with Ron Artest taking photos. You got photo ops with Kobe Bryant and Billy Crystal at the Lakers game, courtside. And you in captivity? You in captivity? You courtside with damn Ron Artest, Meta World Peace, and Lamar Odom. You're the victim, right? This is crazy right here. Once you get caught now, you get caught drugging women, you get caught drugging girls. I keep forgetting this with girls. 14-year-old girl, man. I don't know if Yahannah was seen in the Maybach. I don't even know that. Damn. I heard Yahannah was molesting little children, even boys. That's something I'm waiting for that to come out because I know Yahannah got some dirt, and I can't wait for his downfall because those are some of the most cocky Hebrew Israelites out there, and they were celebrating when Polight got arrested before everything even came out. They were just happy he got arrested, and I'm not. I mean, yeah, good that this mother effer got arrested. Polight, Michael Nowak. The body cam video came out 3 months ago. This cat in his red bottoms and his hat. He told his wife, who had a 14-year-old daughter, one of his wives, who had a 14-year-old daughter. He told his wife, "Yo, we're gonna go over here somewhere." I don't even know what he claimed. They going out. They were going to the club supposedly, and the club was closed. So he took her to a hotel room, got her drunk, was pouring alcohol down her mouth, drugged, put all types of shit in the drink, busted all over her, semen all over her shirt, and she woke up. He was when she woke up, he was forcing her to throw up with his fingers in her mouth. That's the story. The wife said she was calling him like crazy. He wouldn't pick up. He didn't know where they were at. And that's a story that she, the little girl remembered some of that. The DNA came out, the scientific forensic evidence came out and exposed that there was DNA all over her. His DNA. This is a dude that was promoting all the scientific DNA and the now the science got you, man. They got him. This ugly ass cat right here. His googly moogly eyes. I'm glad they got this cat, man. The ISUPK was celebrating this shit. And his supporters like Sa Netter were like, we're gonna wait till all the evidence comes out. And yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, of course. But obviously, Sa Netter didn't want this cat to go down because Sa Netter's name is all tied up with Michael Nowak, aka Brother Polight. They helped each other grow, and they were going at ISUPK early in the early days when I was coming out of the ICGJC because Tazaryach came into the ISUPK in like 2008. I was already mentally leaving that place by then. Need to Be Free was already exposing this shit by then, and so was the Rebel Alliance media was out there exposing Tazadaqyah and the ICGJC before the ISUPK even made any type of name for themselves. Oh yeah, the details are disgusting, Mr. Reno. It's nasty work, Mr. Greg. It's very, very nasty. And Polight and Sonetter were beefing back and forth and then reconciling their differences and then going back to beefing. I don't even know if some of this shit was real or if they were just creating it just to create some type of fake beef like they do with hip hop and rap. Because I don't trust none of these cats. But it seemed legit because there was a time when Sonetter was talking about a girl that left her mother's crib and moved in, a young girl that moved in with Brother Polight. And she was a little girl. And he exposed that early and then they reconciled and they were all cool all of a sudden. And Sonetter is a damn a thief and a scammer just like Polight. There was so much information coming out about Polight scamming people, creating, oh, I have a real estate class, and I'm a financial literacy class, and you're gonna be financially independent, and your socioeconomic status is gonna be. Shut the hell up with that nonsense, man! It's straight lie, and they always get you with this stuff. And we gonna help black people. We here to help black people. The black. Shut the hell. You hear? That's how they get you, man. That's why you gotta stop being so fucking tribal and thinking that just because somebody is talking about helping the black community, that they really have your best interest in mind, man. That's the scam right there. That is the scam. We're here to help black people. Join us, bro. In this country, if you isolate yourself away from white people, you be lucky if you make any type of real money out here as a business owner because white people are the ones that are the majority in this country and they have the majority of wealth in this country. Why would you want to isolate yourself from, that doesn't make any sense. That's what IUIC is starting to realize. That's what Nature Boy and a lot of these groups, GOCC, is starting to realize. Let's go Mets, by the way. Yankees suck. But yeah, let me read some of these comments. I remember DTX. He says, I remember ISUPK and Polight, Shaka Utmost, and Enki were beefing supposedly. Blah blah blah. Yeah, Well, Enki had I was out. Yo, watch this 11-part documentary that was done very well by Hood Horrors. I sometimes I promote people that do good work. Hood Horrors did great work and did an 11-part little series, 11 videos that are like 30 minutes each. The last video is like 40 minutes, and they even threw Tazaryach is all over the series. Sonetter's all over it. And they focus a lot on Brother Polight. They started off with Malachi York and how he was supposedly a student of Malachi York. Yo, this dude went in. Yo, shout out to Hood Horrors on YouTube. He did videos on Nature Boy also, expose all that shit. He's exposing these crooks in the black community. That's what you're supposed to be doing if you really care about your people. You really care about what's going on in the black community. Because when you start to realize is that it's not really white people that's out here harming the black community the way that black people are, because black people are already on the inside now, and now you get to uh sell that pitch that, oh, I'm here to help you because we both black, look, we got the same skin color, and that's supposed to be something fucking important. But because that's been a constant narrative that you hear all throughout Harlem and all throughout the black community with any of these woke groups, from Hebrew Israelites are a woke ass group, to these Kemet community, conscious community people, that's the fucking pitch. And it don't make any sense. You're isolating yourself from people that are gonna help you. White people are out here want to help out the black community too. But I think you got to get away from anybody that's pitching anything that's dealing with identity. And this is just with black people and this and that. Like, just leave that shit alone, and just like, I wish we can not talk about race so much, but sadly, it's like I have to address it, and I'm addressing it is because it's a thing. People are constantly talking about it, so I'm addressing it because that's a topic. It's a big conversation. And being a part of the Hebrew Israelite community, I was a part of this so-called conscious community in a way. Not the Kemet, but it is kind of a conscious community. It's talking about uplifting black people, and they throw Hispanics all up in there. They involved me and my ethnicity. So I became a part of this because they were calling me out, and they brought me into the conversation as if I'm a part of this. So fuck it, here I am now. They've made me a part of it. If you got white ass motherfuckers like Kataza and these other people that could talk about these things, I could damn well talk about it too. Because the moment I started this live stream, I had people talking about, what were you doing talking about this stuff, bro? You're not even black. Well, maybe sometimes you need an impartial critic, an unbiased voice that's not going to be, you know, affected. That's not, on the inside. That's not, because you might want to avoid exposing somebody like Polite because, oh, well, he look like me or he's black. I'm not going to expose another black man. Or I'm not going to expose Tazadaqyah because he's black, man. And he's, black people got it rough, man. So you got to be soft on black people. Like, that's crazy, man. You out here talking about the white man's the devil, and you busy looking for the devil over here and over your shoulder, and then this cat that looks like your father or your brother or your cousin. Oh, he's right in your pocket, but he looked like me, so it's okay. Oh, see, they're trying to take down Polite. They're trying to take down Tazadaqyah because the government don't want black people to succeed. Like, are you crazy, man? What's wrong with you, man? You got all these crooks in the black community that you want to protect because they're black, man. Shame on you for thinking that way. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I was a goddamn Hebrew Israelite. I was actually a part of the ICGJC, man. Can you believe that? Can you believe that shit? The Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ. I'll see if I can find a photo somewhere. Old school photo of me, believing this shit with my garment. You might see me. You might have seen me with red and white. Yeah, what I mean, somewhere you might have seen me. I already saw a photo, but I'm not gonna post that one because I got my wife in it. But yeah, come on, man. There's people that could testify right here in this very live stream. Boom, there we go, baby. San Miguel right there. A Hebrew Israelite. Zaza Ali was caught scamming her followers who fell for her holistic and spiritual approach. Wow. That holistic shit, I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of interested in some of that back in 2017 too, or 2018. I came across actual it was a white woman though out here. And I forgot how I met her, man. I actually was on her property delivering something. I think it was for Mother's Day. That's what it was. For Mother's Day I was working for this Dominican dude out here that owned a flower shop, man. And every Mother's Day for a while, I was working like that whole weekend. I was making pretty good money, and I ended up on this woman's front door. Man, she had a big ass crib, and as I'm walking up to her crib, I see a sign that says holistic herbal whatever. She was on some, that whole cleansing of, it's like they mix dietary with spirituality. It's almost like what Nature Boy was doing, the vegetarian, the vegan, the woke shit. She was like on that type of stuff, man. And I was a little interested, but I didn't really take it that far, I didn't really get that far. I already learned my lesson by then, but this is me right here. This is me in about 2008 when I was a captain of 13,000 in the ICGJC. You can see a few people behind me that are still there. The wall, Shalamoth over here behind my left shoulder, wearing that button down. He's still in the ICGJC. Yeah, I was really a part of this shit, man. I ain't lying. I ain't got no reason to lie. You ain't gotta lie, Craig. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, and I've done videos with this sister right here. This is another Hebrew Israelite. This is a young sister who got, violated at a young age, married off at a young age. Yeah, some of the holistic knowledge is pretty good. That's what attracted me because I'm like, no, I gotta, I gotta get on that dietary stuff. It's like I've always been fascinated by just how much, how good you could feel about yourself just based upon what you put inside your body. Some of that is real. But yeah, there's a lot of pseudo stuff that comes with it. It's like Dr. Sebi. Like Dr. Sebi has some good knowledge behind it, but it's some pseudo shit behind it too. And Polite is actually connected to Dr. Sebi. I forgot how. I think he introduced him one time at some event and some show where you could look that up. I mean, I know he did. You could look that up though. But you know, I wanted to bring this out because I saw that video of Polite, and this is Abba Bivens right here. Supposedly, this is Abba Bivens. This was brought out by Zion Lex. And this is supposed to be a letter that was, I believe, written to Abba Bivens, or he was given some type of property by the government of Ethiopia. Crazy information that Zion Lex brought out before. Interesting stuff. Yeah, man, let's see if I can find more stuff here with the Hebrew Israelites. This is the ICGJC. What's good, Lauren Rowland? How you doing? But yeah, man, it's good to expose this stuff and keep people, keep this in people's remembrance. People tend to forget, you know. Ha! This is Union Park right here, man. This is some years ago. Me and Vocab. Yo, we actually linked up New York City in some park one time, man. A few people right here. You can see me on the left there. You can see Sam, BK Apologist right there. What do you mean? We all linked up one time, man. Those were good times right here, man. You know, it was a time where I was escaping this Hebrew Israelite shit. We had a good night. Another photo right there, good one. I got this off that What Do You Mean Brothers page. That was the same night. That was the same day. Man, we taking it back. We taking it back. Back when I went live with Gorilla Hebrew. It was a time when I actually went live with Gorilla Hebrew, man. And I was catching these Hebrew Israelites out in the streets. This was actually in the Walmart out here in Florida, in Orlando, where I saw IUIC. And guys actually was out there preaching their garbage, and caught a photo with him. This is a man you call Tahar from GMS. Tahar keeps doing videos where he's talking about me. I haven't checked him out in a while, but every now and then somebody will send me a video and they'll be like, yo, Tahar, look what Tahar said about you. And I'll be like, damn, well, Tahar's doing videos about me still? He's done like 7, 10 videos about me. And GMS. Shout out to Willie Valerie, man. Willie Valerie Jr. And congratulations off escaping. Congratulations for escaping the ICGJC. Did the right thing, you know. Welcome home. Welcome home, Black. He left the ICGJC just recently. And he started his own channel, man. I need to have the name of his channel down packed so I could suggest it more to y'all, man, because he's a legit guy, man. And I'm not a Christian. No. I'm not a Christian, but I fuck with Christians. Excuse my language, right? We have the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That type of shit. But some of y'all I actually known for years. Like Willie, I've known him for years and we agree on many things. He's a good brother and he's exposing the same shit that I've been exposing for years, man. He's jumping on that wagon. And that's what should be done. You got to expose these cats that are out here targeting the black community as some type of leader in the black community, and they're frauds. These are scam artists, man. Polight, Ahrayah, Tazadaqyah, big time scam artists. Messing with little girls. Gaining custody of young girls, underage girls, taking them in to their home as a guardian, as a responsible guardian, somebody that they're supposed to be trusted, that's trustworthy, and they're not. Shout out to my boy Gary. Needs to be free. You can't see him, but he's there on the left. And rest in peace to this brother right here, Kornara 1. What's his Hebrew name? That's him right there, Korab Nara 1. Shout out to him. These are some of the pictures that I found in my. Oh, there we go. This is a classic photo right here of me and some of the brothers when we was in the cult. Just to let you know that I was a part of this shit too. You could see Hispanics all in this picture, man. There's 3 of us right there. Boom. And you got a Haitian. You got, man, we was all really, it was unity, but we were involved in a bunch of lies, man. But it was some unity at least. And we made the best of a horrible situation where we thought we were doing something special and, we were being tricked. Another photo. You could see me, right there. Boop. So you know the history of this stuff. I go back to this, like I actually do this. I've been doing this. This is some of the photos I used to take back in the days. Rest in peace to Tahawam. Some people know Tahawam. Willie's channel, the rightly divided word. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Shout out to Wilney, also, who I see in this photo. Wilney. Shout out to Wilney Harris. I'm putting out his whole. Need to be free is there. I see you, brother. We go way back like Cadillac seats. We go way back like seats in the Cadillac. I'm trying to see what other photos I could find back when we was, when I was down with this Hebrew Israelite stuff, just to take y'all back a little bit. But I mean, that's good enough. Y'all already know the history of San Miguel TV. I've been doing this for years. Putting this stuff out. Let me see. Blah, blah, blah. Doing my own little research. These are Siberians, and you can see they have fringes just like the Native Americans did, because Native Americans come from Siberians and they have similar dress code and culture, and that's why Native Americans wore fringes. It's not because Native Americans are Hebrew Israelites, but you know. Well, I don't believe in the Hebrew Israelite doctrine because they used to teach that Native Americans who look like this are somehow supposed to be related to Black Americans, Africans, that claim to be Israelites, but they're Africans. Like this, like this is pretty much Hebrew Israelites were telling me that um Alaskans, Native Americans, North Americans, and Haitians at the bottom here are the same people. That's part of the problem there. This is genetically inaccurate, historically inaccurate, archaeologically inaccurate, paleontologically inaccurate. It's just inaccurate. This is a figment of your imagination. It's like when a sovereign citizen gets stopped by a cop and they have a fake license plate that they printed out from the Sovereign Nation website or something, and it's supposed to be a tag for your car, and it's not a state issued tag. It's not a state issued license. It's some bullshit that tells you that, yo, you're sovereign and you don't have to abide by the laws of America. You ever seen this shit? Go look up the body cam videos of sovereign citizens getting their windows smashed and getting dragged out of vehicles because they think that they don't have to live under the same rights and the same laws that we have in this country. This is a figment of their imagination, just like Hebrew Israelites. They are confused. They're confused. Somebody lied to them and they believed it. Somebody lied to me and I believed it. And then I realized later on that I was deceived and I pulled myself out of that. That's why I don't believe anymore. I didn't have good reason to believe in the first place. I don't mean to be, I'm not, I'm just responding to your question with a little passion. You probably don't know, but, when you don't have a good reason to believe something, then you have to actually, this is why when somebody says, "Yo, don't ever let somebody change your mind. Yo, if you believe something, you gotta always look into the things that you believe, the things that you claim are true." You know, somebody made me believe that I was a Hebrew Israelite, and I believed that. I chose to believe it. It was like somebody forced me, but there's a doctrine behind it. I didn't create this out of nowhere. It didn't come to my mind. This is a narrative and a doctrine that's out there, and it's become more popular, and the internet has pushed it. Misinformation right now is at an all-time high because information is so easily accessed that even misinformation is easily accessed. So you have to be the arbitrator of truth. You have to be the guy that decides, the individual that decides how do I know that this is true? Don't let anybody dictate that. You have to figure that out on your own and do yourself the credit and the justice of actually, having a reason, a good reason, logic and reasoning for why you believe in what you believe in. Because you're going to end up following any of these fake leaders out here, man. They're going to get you. And it might be temporary. You might find yourself, coming out of it. But look at all these guys, man. This is not even the tip of the iceberg. These are just people in the certain conscious community that tries to target black people and Hispanic people. They want your money, they want your attention, they want your family, they want the power that you have over your family and over your life, and they want to, you know, take control of that, and thereby taking control of your money, your income, and your whole life. And now they got you working for them for free, and you're bringing in more people. You're going to recruit. You're going to become a recruiter for them while they sit back and count the cash. And you're bringing in more people, more recruits to pay them more money. This shit is a brilliant scam. It's evil as fuck. But it's very common, man. I mean, this is this has been going on for years, man. They come out and say, I have a connection to the creator, the God of all people. And you don't, and you have to go through me in order to get, closer to the creator. This is like Moses and Noah or any leader that was claiming to have a connection to God. Now they want to use you and claim that God is behind them, and you're getting used thinking that, well, God is working through this man, and the only way that I can get to God is through this man. And this is what all these guys represent: a median to God, a middleman to spirituality, Negro spiritual. You know, they're promising, or they were promising, financial freedom and liberty, financial literacy and spirituality, spiritual liberty, spiritual freedom, sovereignty as a nation, and even Yahweh ben Yahweh, he went as far as, making his own supermarket, having his own. He had his own day in Miami. It was Yahweh ben Yahweh Day. They had to take that back, but that was a thing. I forget what day of the year that is, but there's a Yahweh ben Yahweh Day. And this guy was murdering people, man. He was having his members go out and kill white people, man, and kill former members too. If you were a former member of Yahweh ben Yahweh's, the Nation of Yahweh or whatever, man, you had a target in your head. You might not live. People have been killed, murdered by Yahweh ben Yahweh's henchmen. There was one dude that I believe he was interviewed recently by, damn, who interviewed him? Shit. I forgot, man. I forget his name, but he's been interviewed many times, man. He's a former member of the Yahweh ben Yahweh cult. He ended up leaving. The guy with the silk press and curl, this guy? This is Dr. Malachi Z. York. You ever heard of him? Oh, Jim Green interviewed him, right? Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay. I forget the guy's name though. You know what I'm talking about. Damn, I gotta go back and watch that. I missed that. I knew it was. I knew like he had it scheduled, and it just hit me right now. But, but yeah, yeah, that was a good one, man. That was a good one. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm glad I remembered that. That's a that dude right there has a lot of information, and they were trying to kill him. They were trying to murder him, man. Yahweh ben Yahweh's cult. Yahweh ben Yahweh had a former NFL player, man. A tough dude, man. Ready to kill for him. But, but yeah, man. This is I'm trying to see if I can get. No, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah. ISUPK. You know, like these guys are very European right here, man. Khalil Amani. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, these are Hebrew Israelites right here that ISUPK is, they're gonna be exposed, man. Like there's a lot of dirt within that group. They got some of the most evil people, and I got to do more research into some of their members too, because there's probably stuff that people just don't know about and haven't researched. But they got some shady ass characters, evil motherfuckers up in there. Some of the most demonic people, man. I mean, and dumb people, dumbass motherfuckers, low IQ people, man. That these people definitely have done so much evil shit and probably continue to do it. These are the type of people you have to be, wary of. They have like doctrines out there that will teach you, that they'll teach things like it's okay for you to be with a young underage girl because she's already had her period and the Lord made her a woman. If she wasn't a woman, she wouldn't have had her period. It's some of the crazy stuff, man, that these guys teach. And you've heard it before, man. It's a common teaching with these people. They're trying to stay away from that because GMS kind of made them look crazy, but these are some of the most racist people, man. They're more racist than this guy. You know what I mean? Racist as a hell. Africans sold us to the white man. This cat right here, Kasazai. If this was a whole different world, man, a whole different time, whole different circumstances, with some of these Hebrew Israelites like Tazaryach and Katazai, and some of these other Hebrew Israelites that I've shown, if it wasn't for their beliefs, these people might be some good people, man. Hey, Jim Green is in the house. Hello, sir. Yeah, man. I heard you. I haven't watched your interview with Khalil Amani. Definitely want to watch that. Was getting into some of this stuff. But yeah, man, Jim in context with Jim Green, he got some good content. He's definitely um taken on the Hebrew Israelites, as a lot of us, need to do. Some more people need to come out, Christians that need to defend, the honor of the Bible, the honor of Christianity, and what's true, man, because these people are taking the words of the Bible and completely, you know, just staining it and throwing dirt all over the meanings of these things. Just basic scriptures that talk about simple things, man, that have nothing to do with race or identity, But y'all know where I stand when it comes to the belief of the Hebrew Israelites. I've been exposing this for going on 10 years now. 2027 to be 10 years since I started this channel and started speaking against the Hebrew Israelites. It's kind of been my specialty because I was in there, and who better to come out and speak about this stuff than somebody that was in there, that's in the know. But that doesn't mean that as an outsider you can't understand and come to understanding of what they teach, and still dismantle and take them down, because it needs to be done. Look what they're doing when they target the black community as an identity. Like they're gonna come, and I identify with you, and you can identify with me because I'm black and you're black, and we're gonna help black people because the white man ain't gonna help us out. But look what they do to their own people. Anything that anytime you hear anything like this that's trying to target or get the attention of black people only, 99% of the time, man, I can't even, I can't put a number on it, but the vast majority of the time, it's something evil behind it. And why are you focusing on race? Like, what does that have to do with anything? Wasn't that the problem that you want to get away from? Wasn't that the problem in the first place? Racism? Now you trying to fight racism with racism. How does that make any sense? These guys, this is the faces of some of these evil people, man. And some of them have already fallen. Some of these people. I'm waiting for the downfall of some of these other people, like Yahannah and the ISUPK. You know, this guy's probably already on his deathbed. We thought he was gone. I don't know if what's the case now. And this guy's one of the biggest criminals, man. One of the most disgusting people out here that was actually going against the Hebrew Israelite community and debating people like Tazaryach. He almost went to war with the ISUPK, like literally went to blows with Kataza and Tazaryach. And Tazaryach challenged him. He said, "Cross that line." That's why they got cross the line radio right now. It all comes back to this polite shit. He kind of made a fool out of him. You could tell he was scared. He ain't really trying to fight. He was just trying to get the women and the money and the cars, the jewelry, and the Dolce and Gabbana and Versace and the Lamborghini. He wants you to know that he got money. And he said, I gotta let y'all know that because I come from nothing. I come from Brownsville, Brooklyn, the roughest place in the world, according to him, and which is not. But in New York City, maybe that's the roughest place in New York City is Brownsville. But because you come from nothing, now that you have some money, you gotta flash it all over the place. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. And he didn't know what to do with all the money that he got. And now he abused his power because he did have power. He had power over all these women and followers, people throwing money at him. Even young Pharaoh admitted to getting tricked by him, and he had to get his money back. He had to plead for years. Finally got his money back. I forgot who was the mediator between that. Made him, I think, Sa Netter. But this guy was getting money from people that were trying to, learn about real estate or trying to get a license, NFC, and different real estate and investing knowledge. One person was challenging him and ended up dead. I forgot this dude he was out in Mexico. He had a heart attack. I'm not saying it's related, but it's just sad what happens when people that get tricked and then their life gets turned upside down. They take a hit and then they just die. Dealing with everything they got to deal with. They got to deal with you, so-called a brother with some knowledge. Trying to help you. You're the one putting yourself out there as somebody that's gonna be a mentor, and he was somebody's mentor. It's a black dude that married a Mexican. When he went to move to Mexico, he had money. He was smart, and for some reason, he thought that he needed a mentor like Polight. I forget his name, and he ended up having a heart attack. He died. He was very young. Very strange situation. I don't know what happened, but there's nothing ever came out that it was anything insid you know insidious or anything involving a crime. It just seemed like it was a natural heart attack or whatever. But there were other people, and I don't know if you ever heard of a defense attorney named Ikea Shabazz. She ended up exposing Brother Polight also, because people were hitting her up when she was trying to. She ended up collaborating with Polight on something after all these scams were happening, and people didn't really know Polight was scamming people. So he started collaborating with people that didn't know he was scamming others. Then those people that got scammed started hitting up these people like IKEA. I think her name was Ikea Shabazz. I forget her. She's like a lawyer, and somebody that got scammed out of $70,000 by Brother Polight hit her up, and she made him give that money back. And it happened on a few occasions where he had to pay people money back because there was a contract involved. But I don't even know if that dude with the 70,000 got that money back. My bad. I forgot how the story went with him. But I know there was a few people that paid like 15,000. It was like a few stories, man. Young Pharaoh gave him like 5,000, and they got their money back. But there's celebrities like Meta World Peace that give this cat money so you can mentor him on some bullshit. Meta World Peace is not a smart person. I used to go to school with Meta World Peace's younger brother, Isaiah Artest. That's Ron Artest from Queensbridge. They're from my neighborhood. And these people are just not smart people. He's a basketball player, man. He's not known for being smart. But he ended up being the neighbor to. He's the reason Ron Artest or Meta World Peace is the reason why Brother Polight moved to California for some years there. I don't know what happened with their relationship, but I know for sure that Meta World Peace was his neighbor for many years. They were neighbors. And he was his mentor. He was helping him, learn about whatever the hell Ron Artest thought he needed to learn about. Ron Artest is not a smart dude. It's obvious, man. If you've seen any of his interviews, he's just crazy. He's one of the craziest fucking people in the NBA that ever existed. He was almost as crazy as Dennis Rodman. But it's like people like that feel like they need some to feel smart, and they need somebody they think is smart around them. And Brother Polight was one of these cats, man. And go watch that Hood Horrors documentary, 11-part video, whatever you want to call it. It's a YouTube channel called Hood Horrors. Awesome channel. And he exposed this shit to the fullest, man. He went in depth with this stuff, and went into the history of this cat with Malachi York, because Polight goes back to Malachi York and the Nuwabians, New Covenant. That's why he started that New Covenant movement, because of the Nuwabians. This is what this cat was teaching. And that shit spread all throughout Harlem and all throughout Black America, and the Black community was thinking that these people were righteous people. Starting with Malachi York, then to Polight, and that, just in that situation. But there's many other stories, man. And these are stories that we've yet, to really dive deep into. And I want to be one of the first people to really expose Yahannah and get more information on Yahannah and the ISUPK. Expose this shit. And you could expose me too of, okay, I used to be part of the ICGJC and this and that. That's my history. I put that out. These people hide their history. Yahannah used to be a part of the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Now they want to call it the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, but it was originally called the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge. As you can see on this old flyer from like the 1980s that I got my hands on, and you can find on the internet too. This is the history of the ISUPK. This is what Yahannah be preaching out here. That he's the original, man. This cat, like, come on, man. We know the history of this. Let's go back Founders Crowdy, and it's all identity cult using David, occult symbols, preaching identity cult narratives to draw in people of a certain race, of a certain ethnicity, because they're supposed to be oppressed based on their ethnicity, based on their race. It sounds very similar to Marxism too, and how you're either oppressed or you're the oppressor. But it's all based on race in this instance. And they go out there and protest, just like these BLM activists. These are like fucking activists, man. This is all like a sham. What are you protesting about, man? What are you out here crying and protesting about in front of government buildings? Like you're an activist. Like, who do you think that you are? A revolutionary? You ain't doing shit for the community except for hurting the community. You're harming the Black community. And you want to fucking front like you're an activist, like you're fucking Malcolm X or something. A revolutionary. Fred Hampton. And you ain't none of this shit. You ain't brave. You ain't really doing shit. You wait. Oh, we gonna wait on God. Yeah, you're gonna keep waiting as you keep paying these people money, and it's to no avail. Nothing ever comes out of it. You're not seeing any strides, any movement really happening. No changes, no legislation. You're not getting the land of Israel. You're not getting any land. You're not even getting reparations. Come on. It all goes to show you it's all a waste of time. It's all a dream they're trying to sell you. All these people are all trying to target people of color, and that's the sales pitch. We're here to help you. You're a black person. You're oppressed. Stop. Leave us alone. Leave blacks, Hispanics, leave everybody alone based on race. You want to target somebody based on, oh, you're this and you're that. Like, there's no black people out here that are living good. No Hispanics out here living good. There's no Dominicans with money. There's no Cubans. And they don't fall for that bullshit. You realize that? When they got some money, they don't fall for that bullshit. It's not because, oh, you're a coon and you sold out, you sell out. It's because they don't fall for the bullshit that, oh, we're oppressed. Nobody's oppressing you, man. Your own people are the ones oppressing you, if you look at it. That's why you got to call it from within. Because who else is going to call this shit out? You know, because people, and people want to look, you know, as from when I started the video, there was somebody, well, you Hispanic. What do you got to do with this? Well, why y'all calling me out and telling me I should join your movement? Why do you got Dominicans on the 12 tribes chart then? You trying to draw our attention to your movement, and then when it comes time for us to say, well, this shit is all a sham and a scam. Well, who are you? You're Hispanic. You ain't black. Well, why you got Hispanics on the 12 tribes chart, man? Trying to entice us to get into your fucking fake movement, man. That you're oppressed. There's black people that have generational wealth in this country that are chilling. Maybe some of these issues is going back to your family, and maybe your parents were failures, and you want to put that on. Oh, it's the government. See, we oppressed. Maybe your parents failed you, and they left you nothing. Oh, well, a white person when they die, when their parents die, they leave an inheritance for their children. That's what you're supposed to do. What are you mad at that for? They're smart for doing that. So your parents didn't do that, and you're mad at it because it's like, what the fuck? That's your parents' fault. Now that you know that, why don't you get yourself an insurance plan and some coverage so when you die, your kids have something and they're not fucking left with nothing and have to start from scratch with shit. Maybe you should start building wealth now and stop depending on some, cosmic divine intervention to change your world and change your life when you could do that shit on your own. This is a problem right here, man. They're constantly targeting the black community, and they're using race to try to say the white man. We see the white man don't want you to do have nothing, and they don't want you, and we're gonna help you. All these frauds right here, all these frauds. Some of these guys have already paid for the bullshit. Some of these people have yet to fucking face the music. Like this character right here. Yahannah's next, man. Yahannah, his dirt's is gonna come out. He's got dirt. I can't confirm some of the stuff that I've been hearing, but there's some stuff that's gonna come out about Yahannah. Watch. Watch. And I had some conversations with a few people out there that have been asking me, what do you know about Yahannah? Have you heard this? Have you heard that? And I'm like, I know I've heard some stuff, man, but these things have not been confirmed. At least corroborated or nothing like that. I mean, And even when you do have just a story that comes out, it's like it's the same thing happened with Tazadaqyah, just a story that comes out, and it started getting confirmed by more people speaking out. Now you got corroborating stories, and that adds validity in some way, and it's still stories. But then you had evidence coming out. You had investigations being done by the IRS, the government, FBI, exposing the money laundering, the money schemes that we knew was going on, man. Just like Polight was doing. Tazadaqyah was doing the same shit. Trying to live like a king and trying to act like he's a slave. I'm oppressed, but that you want to be a king. You want to live luxuriously while you preaching the doctrine of oppression, lying to the people. And you live in luxurious, just like Polight. Oh, I got the method to financial literacy. I could make you get money. Let me teach you. It's all about, oh, I'm gonna teach you. I'm a teacher. Like you can't teach yourself. You can't be self-taught. Why do you have to go to these charlatans? Give them your money. I mean, some of us have made the mistakes. But when does the time come that you now have to be a man, be a woman, be an adult, and take charge of your own life? Why are we relying on these so-called leaders to try to help us? These frauds, man. Child molesters, pedophiles. They don't know what to do when they get all this money and all this power. They go crazy. They think they're gods. They think that they're above the law. These are narcissistic sociopaths, man. They think they're untouchable like a god because we are the ones that are giving them all this power and making them think like they're untouchable. The power that they have is the power that we are giving them. We're allowing them to do what they do to us, to get away with what they've gotten away with for so long. How many years did Polight go out there and he was exposing some of the bullshit? That don't mean anything. There's always a little grain of truth here and there that comes out. And that's what draws you in. It sounds good, but then there's lies. There's a whole system behind it that's made to keep you down and keep you running in a hamster wheel and working for them. And now you become a recruiter for them and you recruit other victims. And now you're victimizing other people. This is a crazy scam. It's like a Ponzi scheme, man. A pyramid scheme. And who's at the top of the pyramid? These charlatans, these child molesters, man. Running, right in our community. There's bigger people than this, bigger fish than this, of course. These are low level people that are getting away or are not getting away. These people are getting caught, and it be our own people. We got to step up and expose it. Who else is going to expose this stuff? What's good, Saint Ivan? Shikarina. My bad. I wasn't looking at the comment section. Yeah, man. There's always a little bit of truth that they have to pull out there because if they're just gonna tell a bunch of bullshit. I mean, people still follow bullshit, right? You got crazy ass damn doctrines out there like Scientology's crazy as hell, man. L. Ron Hubbard, just straight fiction, you know, an author of fiction, just putting out nothing but lies that sound good. People will still fall for that, but yeah, I mean, you have all these leaders out here, man. It's like, then they want to involve Hispanics into it and Native Americans, and you're really black. and you need to join us because the white man's the enemy. They create a common enemy. So now the enemy of your enemy is my friend, or the the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So that's one of the main things they like to push, so they could constantly remind you that we have the same enemy. Remember, the enemy is I'm not your enemy. The real enemy is this. They create a boogeyman. They create that enemy, and they have to keep attacking that enemy, and that becomes a focus, and then you lose focus. So, you don't really see what else is going on. There's a bunch of other stuff going on behind the scenes. A bunch of other lies, man. Just straight deception. These are some of the schemers right here, man. They're outside in the streets holding signs and charts, and it's all based on skin color and identity. And you're Puerto Rican, you belong with us. You're our people. God loves you. Don't you think God loves you, brother? Now they trying to Christianize the whole message now, and and they were going to Africa. They're going to India, New Zealand. And, oh yeah, God loves you too. The white man is a devil, but some of y'all are okay. Some of y'all are people. I can't say who's the real devil, but you out here saying the white man's a devil, but you don't know if the white man that you're talking to at the time is the real devil because he might be an Israelite. But you got a 12 tribe sign that says who the Israelites are, but then they also could be in India and they're also over here. The sign don't make sense anymore. It's like, well, what is this? Why do you even have the sign anymore when you're going to India? You're going to Sri Lanka and shit. What the hell are you gonna do with the 12 tribe sign in Sri Lanka? How do they fit? They don't fit in that anymore. So the message is bullshit from the beginning. They were just trying to, lure us in. They got a little following, and now they're using that small following that they got to get a bigger following. And some of the money that they're putting into the organization is going back out, but it's going back out to the members to go out there and teach and get more members and recruit more people so they can keep getting more money and keep growing and get more power. And pretty soon they're going to start claiming lands and wanting to have sovereignty as their own nation and autonomy and all this shit. They're going to want their own schools and their own. This is coming. I promise you, this is coming. And they're going to want to separate, but yet they're going to still want funding from the governments. Watch. They're not going to be really um financially independent and self-funded. They're going to still want help from these different governments, just like they went to Israel and they wanted property as, or land as the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they ended up putting them out in Dimona, and now their visas are expiring. They've been shipped them out back to Chicago or wherever the hell they came from. But they were trying to work with the government of Israel. And the scriptures don't say nothing like that. The scripture says God is supposed to be the one, to rule over all the nations with a strong arm. And you're not supposed to be out there seeking any assistance from no government. If you're really the nation of Israel, these people are all scammers, man. And they're constantly using you as, oh, look, we're black and native and you're oppressed and you're Hispanic and we're all oppressed, which means we're all the same people. There's oppressed people all over the world, man. Just because you're oppressed, that means that you should identify as a certain ethnicity or ethnic group or tribe, whatever you call it, nation. Doesn't make any sense. None of this shit adds up when you start really analyzing it. And at first, it sounds real good, man. I fell for it. You know me. You see me before in the garments. I fell for this shit. I was a Hebrew Israelite. I was a Simeonite, man. I was out there preaching the same thing, man. I fell for it. It sounded real good at the time. And then you start questioning it, and you start to realize that you didn't have good reason to believe in what you believed in the first place. And it's not that, oh, you've been deceived and now you don't believe. I didn't have good reason to believe in the first place. It was my fault. But we can't forget that these people are setting the trap. We're falling for the trap, and some of the blame we need to take accountability for our mistakes. Of course, we can't just put it on everybody else. That's just not productive. It's not productive at all. But but there's a big but. They're setting the trap, man. They're creating the scheme. And if it wasn't for that, you would have never fell for it, but you still got to take responsibility. But now also, I take responsibility and I go even further and I want to expose this shit. And people get mad because, oh, why don't you just go out? That's what they tell me, the ICGJC and my cousin and these different people that I tried to reach out to from the beginning. The first thing they told me was like, why don't you leave us alone and just go out and live your life if you don't want to be a part of this anymore? Or you don't want me to expose you now. You want me to shut up about what I know because I was on the inside. So when they realized they couldn't shut me up, then they had to make videos and expose me. And they did a horrible job of it because trust me, there's a lot you could say about me. There's a lot more stuff that didn't come out about me, that it's irrelevant anyways, because it doesn't change the fact that what I was involved in was a scam. And sometimes you leave this scam, you get damaged as a person. A lot of people get damaged. They come out and then they look at you like, oh, look at this guy. He's damaged. Well, it's the cult that damages. We put our trust and our life. Some of us spent years, decades in this place, sacrifice jobs, money, opportunities, and family, and all types of stuff, and it damages you, and they use that against you, and they use all the secret information that you gave them while you were in there. They use that against you too. They did that with a lot of people, man. We already know what they do. It's a vicious cycle, man. A never ending vicious cycle. Religion is powerful, man. It's like a drug. This shit's like witchcraft, man. What we were thinking was true. It was like witchcraft. You're told you can read the Bible and you can read it. You can see where it says white like wool, and in your mind, you're thinking that it says woolly. That's what you're thinking. You're imagining an afro. You're imagining woolly hair, and you can read it with your own eyes, and it says white, describing a color. And they'll tell you straight up right in your face. You see, brother, he had hair like wool, but it says white like wool. Yeah, his hair was like wool. Are you fucking with me? Like, are you insane, man? What is going on? How the hell don't you see what is plain? What has happened to your mind? You have been deceived by a warlock. This I don't know. It's like witchcraft, man. It's insanity. The mind is so powerful, though. You could convince yourself of so many things that's not true just because you want it to be true. And it's like in your mind, it's true. Now it becomes true just because in your mind it's true, man. It's very powerful. It's like a drug. Yeah, this shit is amazing how it's still it's still a common teaching with the 12 tribe sign, Ahrayah and all that. witchcraft, man. Just straight like how do you have so much power over people that you can harm them right in front of their face and they just accept it. It's like it's like abused women. It's like you're in a relationship with an abuser and you just go with it like he's gonna change, he's gonna get better, he loves me, and it's just he's just going through something right now, and it's like kind of like that. Yeah, man, we was in this thing, man. Like I was in this shit, and I was not a fly by night brother. I was there for the right reasons, I thought, but I was really there for the wrong reason. If it wasn't for my close family member really taking time to explain it and kind of manipulating the scriptures and manipulating me, which I didn't know the scriptures, to think a certain way, and I think about it now and I'm like, damn, I didn't even really realize what I was reading or what I was hearing being read to me. One of the first things is the color of Christ. They focus on the color of Jesus Christ is so important to them, and you still see that till this day in everyday life that people always constantly, everything's black, black power, black excellence, black news, black owned businesses, black this and black. It's like they're trying to constantly make you identify with their bullshit, based off of color. And it's exactly what it is. It's an identity cult. It's a doomsday cult. They preaching that the end of the world is coming. We have to bring more people in, and you don't have much time, brother. This is urgent. Get inside now. Get out. Get out of her, my people. Come out of her. You black, you Native American, Gadites, Haitians and Alaskans are the same people, man. This is the insanity. Because if you say that Native Americans or North American Indians are Gad, then you have to say that the Inuits or the Alaskans, that they're Gad. You have to go up. How far do you go up in North America, man? This is Canada. This is America. It's Alaska. Right across from Siberia. These are Siberians, man. And you want to say that they're the same people as Haitians? This is insanity. This is what we were taught, man. It's pure insanity. Like, how the hell did I believe in this, man? This is like witchcraft, yo. Like these people are connected to Black Americans. How? How? How are these people right here? This guy right here with the ISUPK. I forget his name. I was going back and forth with him. He was supposed to come on a live stream. These ISUPK members will not come on a live stream. They'll always refer me to some other men. Here, talk to this man. I'm gonna refer you to this man, and he's gonna deal with you. Why don't you come on my channel and we can have a conversation about all this shit? You on Facebook? You just posted 50 comments to me on Facebook. Like these niggas find me on Facebook over a Facebook group, Jews versus Hebrew Israelites or whatever the hell, where I post videos, I'll post my links to my channel, trying to spread my channel out. And they find me and they comment and they go back and forth. I'll be at work. I get on my lunch break, check my Facebook. I got 50 comments. I'm like, holy shit. Then I'd be like, come on the live stream. Oh, nah, you ain't worth it. Well, you just spent 50 comments, yo, going back and forth with me. And now all of a sudden I'm not worth it? This cat right here is a fraud, man. I forget his name. Look how Asian he looks, man. This guy looks European. He looks Eurasian. European and Asian. and he wants to be black, bro. It's sad. Why do you want something that you're not? What the hell happened in your life where you want to be cosplaying, man? You want to be a character, a superhero, Mighty Morphin time. What are you doing with your life here? This is insanity, man. This is craziness. You know, like, but then, and the problem is not that because it's like they try to make it seem like they're preaching unity. Look, look at this right here. Unity. It's unity. Native, Hispanic, black, but the white man's a devil. They gotta throw that in there too. And the Asians are the devil too, because Chinese people own black people, and they've done blackface before. They participated in the slave trade. Chinese people? Uh, all right. I guess, like, okay, man, like Slavs. This is where the word slave comes from. Slavs. Like they weren't white people. Europeans weren't slaves either. Why are you constantly bringing up slavery? Like this tragedy, You want to bring up tragic stuff to emotionally appeal to appeal to emotion to get somebody fucking emotional, and you're like a troll trying to trigger people with emotional stuff. Don't you hate slavery? Wasn't slavery horrible? Okay, yes. Well, join us, brother, because we hate slavery too. And you hate slavery? Don't you hate slavery? I hate slavery. Let's join us. What? Just bringing up crazy stuff like that. Don't you hate Jim Crow? And wasn't the Trail of Tears horrible? And the Inquisition? It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? You're just bringing up old history, tragedies, Black Wall Street. You're constantly just living in history. You're living in ancient times and tragedies, trying to appeal to people's emotions and pull on heartstrings to 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 try to try to have people gravitate towards you by using emotional tragedies in history and trying to create a common enemy, the white man's enemy. Look what he did, ignoring that there were actually Native Americans that actually had slaves, black slaves. You don't want to talk about that, but that was actually a thing, and they denied that. I've seen that's the next video actually. Look out for my next video where IUIC is denying that Native Americans also had African slaves. And you have an honest person asking a question like, "Well, they had slaves," and they were like, "No, they didn't." And the dude is like, "Yo, Native Americans had slaves. They had African slaves. How does that work with the Deuteronomy 28? But wait, it's just your own people. It's supposed to be your own people now, according to your 12 tribes chart. They're enslaving your people, the Judites or whatever, African Americans. They were free slaves or they were runaways running away from their masters, their white masters, and they would get caught up in reservations or Native Americans' land, and they would become slaves to them too. That's the reality of what was going on in this country. You want to make it so black and white as if it was just, it's very complex. History is complex, man. There's all types of cross stories and all types of history and unknown, shit that we don't even know about. But this is known that Native Americans had slaves, African slaves, right here in this country. How does that work with the curses when you say that Native Americans are Israelites too? That doesn't make any sense. And that's a honest kid, a young cat was bringing this up on the street to a IUIC member, and the IUIC member was making him feel like he was stupid for even bringing that up. And when it was a great question, It was a great freaking question, and they're making him feel like that's not true. You're lying, and the dude's like, "No, I'm not. This is history. What are you talking about?" They're rewriting history, bro. Lying to you about what happened. We know what happened. There's real evidence of this stuff, man, that we can look up. So they have to constantly deny the reality of life. They deny reality. They redefine shit. This one dude was telling me Asian is not a race. And I'm like, yes, it is. Regardless if you agree, we know that Asian is a classification right now in 2026, and has been for centuries. It's been classified as a race. It don't matter if you don't agree with it. It's just a way that we can generalize a people of a certain genetic makeup. That's all it is. It's not that complicated. They try to there's no such thing as Moab. And what the fuck are you talking about? There's no such thing as Asian in the Bible. There's no such thing as Puerto Rican in the Bible either. But Puerto Ricans have become a people now because of a admixture of Europeans, indigenous, and African slaves. That's what a Puerto Rican is. That's what a Dominican is. That didn't exist back in the biblical times. We live in 2026, and there's centuries of history that led up to this time, and now you do have Puerto Ricans. Just like there was a time when there were no Israelites in the Bible. There was a time when there were no Israelites, and then there came a time and there were Israelites all of a sudden. How the fuck did that happen? Just like a Puerto Rican came about. Now you have Puerto Ricans. Over time, genetic mixture happened. A group of people within a certain area start mixing, and these just so happen to be islands too, which cuts so many other people off, which is a little different from what you had in the Levant. The Levantine people, Moab and Ammon and Ishmael. All these people were mixing like crazy. Jews and Idumeans or Edomites were mixing like crazy. And by the time the Roman Empire came about, an Idumean had almost nothing to do with what an Edomite was. An Idumean was just somebody from Idumea. And the people in Idumea were also Moabites. They were Moabites all in Idumea. There were Jews or Judites in Idumea. There were Idumeans in Judah, in Judea, that were practicing Judaism. Or they were like Jews, like Herod. Herod was a Jew who was an Idumean. how do you how do you explain that, man? Yeah, this whole father seed doctrine is bullcrap. When Moab and Ammon, Esau and Jacob, Isaac and Ishmael all had the same father, man. We all have the same father. If essentially, if you want to go back to Adam, then we all come from Adam. We're all the same father seed. Their father seed doctrine is stupid. These cats are straight lying and trying to separate you from the whole idea of what an Israelite or ethnicity is a social construct based off of genetic mixture over time in a certain area. That's all that is. That's all ethnic groups are. Edomites and Israelites were exactly the same. They had the same father. They had the same Y chromosome, Y DNA that goes to the father. That means they're the same. But no, God created two nations are in thy womb. There's all stories that were written later on. They weren't there when Jacob and Esau were born. The people that wrote that. They wrote that later. Individuals actually existed. We know that the groups of people existed. And what the evidence shows is that Israelites came out of the Canaanites. Canaanites are Semitic people. They spoke a Semitic language. They had the Phoenician alphabet. How are they Hamitic? How they come from Ham? They're Semitic.
We don't know if a person named Shem even existed, man. Shem's firstborn was named Elam. So the seed of Shem, the father's seed, that means Elam. It's just like an Israelite then. They all come from the same father, Shem. No, but God was separating the nations at that time. But when did it stop? What scripture says that it stopped or started at any time? When it comes to that whole father seed doctrine, it's all bullshit. There's no father seed. There's nothing that shows that there's a seed that's Levi or a seed that is Simeon and this is the seed. Like what the fuck does that mean? It's nonsense, man. This whole shit is all bullshit. But they try to make it seem like these people are all the same people. We know that over time, Africans or black people, Hispanics, which are a mixture of black, indigenous, and white, and Native Americans, we know that there's a whole timeline that explains their genetic mixture over time, and it's all separate. That it's all timelines that are separate for generations. I mean, I'm talking about millenniums. Over millenniums, you had these people, groups of people that were separate, and they created their own little genetic groups because of their location and time. All of that determines how you look and your genes. All of that. It's not a God that, oh, if God make me look like this, God made Esau look like that. Because that's not how it works, man. All that shit happens over time, and it's not so simple where you think that there's a seed for a Benjamite. And there's a way to even determine that. How do you even determine that? There's no way to interpret a scripture and then come to the understanding that someone is a Benjamite. That's insanity, yo. I'm a Benjamite because I read a scripture in Genesis where the wolf is a what? Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. Oh yeah, I'm from Jamaica, so I'm a Benjamite because of wolves. What? This is what they're talking about, man. This shit's insanity, man. This is some of the shit that people have gobbled up as fucking some type of truth. It's insanity. I'm gonna keep exposing IUIC. I'm gonna keep exposing ISUPK and ICGJC. ICGJC's already been destroyed, man. You know, they're fucking rubble. Barney rubble. These guys are grasping at straws right now, man, trying to, find some relevance by, putting up videos of them debating, Israelites. That's what they do. They try to find other Hebrew Israelites to, you know, uh, gain clout from, like the IUIC right now. And they're not even really doing any damage and actually exposing anything. And forget doing damage because, according to these IUIC members, there's nothing that could ever damage them. You could expose bullshit that they're blatantly teaching out there about the 10 tribes breakdown in Ahrayah, or like these cats would talk about, you know, just straight up lying about recent history, like David Anderson, who shot up the Jewish market in Jersey City. You got IUIC that I jumped on their live stream or on their clubhouse room or whatever the hell, and they're telling me David Anderson was Jewish, or no, he was Muslim. He was Jewish or Muslim, but he was not a Hebrew Israelite. He couldn't have been a Hebrew Israelite because we don't do that. But he was a Hebrew Israelite, and he did shoot up the Jewish market. Why are you denying that? You just want to lie and try to save your ass from looking, from being exposed. When it has nothing to do with IUIC. I don't even know why they had to lie about that. All they had to say was, well, he wasn't an IUIC member. And I would have still said, well, he was an Israelite. So he still attached to you guys. So you can't say that Hebrew Israelites have never done any murders out here of Jewish people, because they have. Black Hebrew Israelites have gone out here and attacked Jewish people on multiple occasions. You actually had a Muslim woman in Indianapolis or something, who drove her vehicle into an ISUPK school, thinking that it was a Jewish organization, and she didn't know this is a damn dumbass Hebrew Israelite who she probably fucks with. Free Palestine and all that shit. ISUPK be wearing the fucking stupid ass Free Palestine baklava, whatever the fuck that headscarf. Sakari, like the fucking Gorilla Hebrew, be wearing a Free Palestine fucking headscarf. A bunch of these cats, like looking stupid as fuck. And niggas are dumb. The hell? It goes to show you how fucking deceived they are, man. They follow these woke ass dumb movements because they're racist as fuck and they hate Jewish people, bro. They just down with anybody that hates Jewish people. Free Palestine. Now you wearing their fucking headscarf like they have something to do with you. They don't care about you either. Yeah, but that shit happened to ISUPK. This woman ran her vehicle right into their school. Let me see if I can find the story. That shit was crazy. I probably don't have that anymore, but let's see. Let me show you. Yeah, don't think I have that anymore, but yeah, y'all know that story, man. It was Indianapolis. You can look that up. I think I'm gonna be out. I think I'm gone. But yeah, back to this Hebrew Israelite stuff. We're gonna close it out. These are some of the prominent faces of the Hebrew Israelite movement, from Ahrayah to Abba Bivens, Yaquab, and then going back to Rabbi Matthew. A lot of people don't even know about Rabbi Matthew. He's another Freemason, just like William Saunders Crowdy. These guys are 33rd degree Masons. That to me, this shit is like all witchcraft, man. All this shit is straight occult messages and symbolism, and people that claim to be oppressed, coming out of slavery. I mean, at least William Saunders Crowdy it goes back to the late 1800s, and he's just fresh out of slavery, man. Like, this shit is like, slavery was just banned in 1865. Then in going to 1890 or 1895, you started hearing about Black Hebrew Israelites preaching some of their shit. But if you look into William Saunders Crowdy, he was a Prince Hall Freemason. Rabbi Matthew was also a Freemason. He was 33rd degree Freemason. And now in 2026, you got Hebrew Israelites that they could be out here, strapped, man. This guy got a gat on his right side, and he got a assault rifle in his arms, in his hands. And he's holding that shit properly too. I like the way he's holding that AR. It's proper technique right there. with the finger over the trigger, not in the trigger, but kind of hovering over it, and not put your finger in there, ready to damn shoot somebody by mistake. And these are supposed to be oppressed people right here, right? But here you are with the same constitutional right
is being protected, and you're out here in the streets preaching hate, and nobody's bothering you. Until you start attacking people, until you start, really getting aggressive and putting your hands on people because these motherfuckers, okay, you have the right to be on a public sidewalk, it's open to the public, but you also cannot be obstructing traffic and obstructing people's movement. You just post up on a public sidewalk that belongs to everybody. This sidewalk belongs to the public, not you. You want to post up with a gun and a fucking 12 tribes sign like you own the sidewalk, but you're supposed to be oppressed and nobody bothers you. You get to stand there for hours and do your live stream, and the evidence is all on YouTube of you not being bothered for the most part. Yeah, every now and then you get a drunk ass motherfucker that's homeless that comes up to you and starting shit. That's bound to happen when you're out in public talking crazy. Just like what happened to Chud the Builder. Chud the Builder is fucking out here in the streets talking crazy. And look what happened to him. He almost got killed. Now he's facing time because he's trying to fucking, this is self defense. And I don't know if that's self defense. When you, somebody's just trying to fight you. I can't get a good picture of him, but this is, I did a video on Chud the Builder. He's a white, racist, um, Groiper, fucking Nick Fuentes, right wing extremist or far right fucking conservative who was calling black people the N word all over the streets. And freedom of speech, freedom of this and freedom of that. Yeah, you got the freedom of speech, but you're gonna fucking trigger the wrong person. And I'm not saying it's right because you're just saying stuff. Okay, you're just saying words in the street. We used to be out here in the streets taking up the sidewalk too, saying all types of crazy stuff. And people came up and they would try to do shit. They would get angry at least. And we've had instances when, we never shot nobody and nothing like that. But it could pop off at any time. That's why they got security, enforcement protection. People that make sure nothing happens in the street because they know they talking crazy out here and anything could happen at any time. Shit could pop off. That's why you got these people. But your rights are protected, and really, you don't see these people get treated the same way that a white racist gets treated. When a white racist goes out in the street, everybody hates them. But you get black Hebrew Israelites racist as hell. Yo, they get white people licking their boots in the streets. Literally, white liberals get down on their knees, man. There's videos of this shit. They get down and lick their boots. Racist black people, they chilling. They could be racist all out on the streets with guns saying the white man's the devil, you're going into slavery, we're going to kill your babies, and we're going to rape your women. But then you get white people out there and say, you black people are N-words. And they want to kill him, constantly trying to attack him. They did. They killed his dog. They murdered his pet dog. They found where he lived. They threatened his mother or his wife and kids. His businesses. He got fired from his job. All that shit happened. He got doxxed. You know, and I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm just saying the the response that you get for somebody that's white being racist is not the same response that you're getting from somebody that's black and being racist. You see, these people are able to go out there and be chilling out there in the streets, talking their nonsense, getting reckless out their mouth, and they have guns to protect them, the same way this nigga Chud the Builder was doing. But people don't go out there and attack Hebrew Israelites like that. I mean, there's been instances. Yeah, IUIC, there's a woman that ran through their she got arrested for it. Crazy ass woman ran over their signs and shit and almost ran them over. and she got arrested. And this is the type of response, like just like you say, Chud the Builder, that's expected because he's being racist. Well, guess what? Hebrew Israelites are out in the streets being racist. How come other people don't get to respond the same way that you think it's okay for people to respond just because you hear the N word and you get triggered, you go crazy for the N word? Meanwhile, they out here saying, "Oh, the black man is God and the white man's the devil," and I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that they say. And it's you can call it antagonizing. You can call it all of that. It's a double standard, man. And yet they accept, white his looking Hispanics just like this. Because he got cornrows and he probably got a black girlfriend. Oh, you good? Yeah. Then it's just, it's ridiculous. It's it's hate speech. Just like Chud the Builder was preaching hate speech. Now Chud the Builder, you see, he was getting banned from all types of platforms, and he couldn't make any money because you can't be out here saying certain things, right? It's like you're gonna get banned from platforms if you don't own YouTube. If YouTube wants to kick you off their platform, it's their platform. They have the right to do that. They're their own business, their own company. You got to find your own way. Start your own fucking website. Live stream on your own shit. Create your own platform. It's possible. Yeah, you're not gonna get the same amount of traffic as you will on YouTube, but it's possible. Yeah, IUIC has harmed people. I have seen that actually. There was a member of IUIC in Indianapolis that shot a trans woman, a trans person. You could look it up. I did a video on that already. So what you're talking about is nonsense. And also um there's a IUIC member named Joy Morgan from London who was murdered by another IUIC member named Israel some crap. I don't even remember his name, but I just told you the proof. Her name was Joy Morgan, and the murderer was another IUIC member, and they were leaving a High Holy Day celebration in London, and he was supposed to take her home, and she never made it home. And then when it came time to find her body, he didn't want to say nothing for like 2 years or something, like a year. He didn't want to say where he buried her, where the hell her body was at. How am I supposed to show the proof right now? Just look up Joy Morgan. I already posted videos on this. All you have to do is look it up on my channel. That's why I posted on my channel, so that it's there and the proof is on my channel. So there's two stories. Joy Morgan, she was murdered by another member of the IUIC, and then the the weird Jar Jar Bings looking mother effer that shot the trans person in Indianapolis. You can look this up. It's on my channel. I've already went over this, so all you have to do is go and look at it. I'm showing stuff that's already in my photo album. I can't get off the live stream and go find what you want me to find. If you want to find it, take the time to go find it yourself because you're the one that wants to find it. You're smart, and I have confidence in you that you're able to find it yourself. I have confidence in you. So go run along and go find it yourself. I'm spoon feeding you the information, and all you have to do is listen and type it into Google. Joy Morgan of IUIC. Are you stupid? Go look it up yourself. I'm doing a live stream right now, okay? Run along. Go ahead. Tell me what you find out. The hell? I've been done videos on this. It's not up to me to educate you on the shit that you don't know about, bro. It's up to you to educate yourself on what's going on out here in your community. How do I know more about your community than you do? How is that possible? Doesn't make any sense. Go educate yourself on your community and what you got going on. IUIC members never harm nobody? Then what happened to Joy Morgan? How do you explain that? Like, come on, man. I've done videos on this already. It's, all you have to do is, go to those videos. Joy Morgan, and let me see if I can find, maybe I have a screenshot of the dude with IUIC that shot the trans person. So I could post it up for you real quick. Oh yeah, here you go. Joy Morgan. There you go. Oh, you see, you can't. It's too big. It's not. I wasn't ready to post this for you. I'm so sorry, but you can find it yourself, man. That's Joy Morgan there on the right. The dude that killed her was named Israel something, and the story's out there, man. It's known. So this is not, a mystery. Like I've already posted videos about that. So the fact that you don't know about it doesn't change the reality that the evidence is actually out there, and all it takes is for you to, take a few minutes from commenting all your ignorance, exposing how unaware you are of what's going on in your own community. Stop exposing yourself and actually educate yourself about what's going on in your community. So that way I don't have to be the one to show you, like, this is what's going on, and then in your ignorance you're just denying it. No, it's not. Show me the proof. How am I going to show you the proof when I'm doing a live stream right now? I'm giving you the evidence. Look up Joy Morgan. Do you need me to spell it? Jesus. You niggas are crazy. Joy Morgan. Have you never heard of her? How you never heard of Joy Morgan, man? Are you supposed to be down with IUIC and you never heard of Joy Morgan? Why do I know about Joy Morgan? Why are they hiding that from you? You should know about her too, man. That's crazy, and it's a sad story. And it's up to you guys to rectify the story because it comes out of your organization. Oh, here we go. This is the. You see, it's too big. I can't. This is the guy that shot the trans person. IUIC man shoots transsexual. Boom. I found the photo for you right there. Dwayne Lewis. Thank you. There he goes. Gerald Dwayne Lewis, the Jar Jar Bings looking mother effer. Show the proof. Proof is there, man. We're talking about an organization, not an individual. Yeah, you're asking me about individuals in the IUIC. What are you talking about? What the hell? You have never seen IUIC harm or go after nobody. That's what you said. I'm gonna pin it right here. He said it right here. Look, he said, "You have never seen IUIC." What do you mean? The whole church is gonna harm somebody? What the fuck are you talking about? Individuals are the ones that are gonna do things by harming somebody. People harm people as individuals, man. And these are representatives of your organization. These individuals represent your organization. What are you talking about, man? Now you want to that's called shifting the goalpost. You asked me a question, I answered the question with evidence. Now we got two names. We got Joy Morgan and whoever killed her, and then Gerald Dwayne Lewis. So members of IUIC have harmed people. I fulfilled your request by showing you evidence, and you want to change and shift the goalpost. Now I have to fulfill something else that you're asking me. I already answered your question. I gave you evidence. Here's the fucking guy that shot the trans person right here. So your request has been fulfilled. I'm not here to fucking tap dance for you. So nah, I can't. Well, if I get off, um, will you join my live stream? Because I have to start it. I have to start it again because I already started this live stream. I'm not able to make anybody join a live stream that's already been started. That's not how that works. I mean, Christians also teach that you're not supposed to harm nobody. So you're not the only organization that does that. But yet you guys are constantly, saying that Christians are evil and this and that. You know, what I would love to talk about, yeah, for sure. What I would love to talk about is some of the doctrines that you guys teach and go over that. And I can show you how you guys lie about scriptures because if we're going to talk about individuals doing things, it's like I've already showed you individuals. We spoke about Joy Morgan and this dude. So what I have to do is get off of this and then start another one if y'all want to join my next one. But then how am I going to give you the link for you to join? Oh, I know how. On StreamYard, I guess. Damn, this phone is hot. My battery's hot as fuck. But okay. So how do I do this? All right. So just look out for when I start going live because you're gonna have to jump on, and then I'll put the link in the live stream. All right. So give me like 5 minutes, and I'll restart a new live stream, and we'll talk about Hebrew Israelite stuff. Herman Israel 12. I got you. All right, y'all.